Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to a regularly scheduled program of Dice and Paper. Even though Nate did a fantastic job last time running Dread, we are back to the world of D&D, and I am thrilled. Off to a great start. Now, I do have a little bit of a present for my players who haven't seen it yet. So, Adrian, if you'd like to go to the new overlay.
Wait. Oh, man.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
Wait.
What? Give me a second.
What do we have down there?
That's really good.
Shit.
That's so good.
We're all
I
fighting
need to.
over.
I can't
No,
see
you
it.
can't
over
see
there.
it. It's gonna pop up on our monitors.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Woo!
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Holy crap.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so good.
That's actually amazing.
What the fuck?
Our arm, our mic.
I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little bit called out by
Guys,
how
guys.
amazing some of the fan art was.
Congratulations to Trevor.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Trevor. Good job.
Congratulations, my dude.
All right. That's so
With that-
awesome.
With that established, it's time for some announcements tonight. Who's starting the chain? Rolling the ball.
Oh yeah. So if you like our show and you want to
You
support
do.
it, which
You
you
like
you obviously do, we have merch, which is like you can get cups, you can get sweatshirts, you can get regular shirts, you can get
You can get our new Badger shirt.
our new Badger shirt.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
a callback
Badgers,
to the
man.
Badger story.
Player
Fucking
favorites.
Badgers.
And yeah, you can find links for those in the panels on Twitch or in the description on YouTube.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck
All
yeah.
So, I'm the D&D Beyond guy, but tonight my voice is really messed up. If you guys can't tell, I have a cold. My immune system sucks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say thank you to D&D Beyond. Thank you, D&D Beyond. Got 'em.
The most built
Okay, I guess that goes to
If
me
you guys
then.
haven't already, actually though, like go check out D&D Beyond. They're really awesome. We're not sponsored.
They
Yeah.
did give us really cool stuff though. So thank
Hey, I don't think they
you.
noticed that wink. You need to put a little more.
Because he has a cold.
Okay, there we go.
I can't
Um,
see his wink because he has a cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you guys haven't already, make sure to go check them out. We're not sponsored, but we do love their product.
Yeah, their service is
They're
amazing.
fucking awesome.
Thank you so much.
Very good. We use it all the time. Me. If you guys really love us and you want to donate, please do. We can do it right in the description on YouTube or in the panels on Twitch. But if you don't want to, we're not totally asking.
Okay, yeah. So
Yes.
it would help us out. We need like new hardware. If you guys can't tell, our cameras aren't the
Our
best.
Cameras, we've had some.
We
We
had
had
some issues.
cameras issues today.
Oh, we
actually.
fixed it.
But that's not the important thing.
Yeah,
we
alright.
love you. We love you so much.
Exactly.
You're the
Yeah,
best
thank you so
viewers in the
much.
world.
And lastly, guys, if you guys are watching this on
Oh my gosh,
YouTube,
new pictures.
please check us out live from 7 to 11. It's starting to 7 to 10, 7 to 11, around there. On Twitch at Dice and Paper, as well as follow us on all the Instas and as well as all not the Snapchats, close.
We don't have
Twitters.
Snapchat.
We have
We don't have
Twitter
Snapchat.
though.
We
and
do.
we all
Somebody
have
get on that.
individual-
One of you guys make us a Snapchat.
Yeah.
God
Oh,
damn
no.
it.
Done. I got it.
Anyway, I don't think we have any more announcements.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
All right.
Back
The
over
new
to your face
pictures
hole.
are
Unless you have anything else to add.
What? No. Well, we have one last thing as we dive back into the world of D&D. The sun shines upon a world at peace, but beneath the surface, far beneath the surface, something ancient slowly stirs. Welcome to Dice and Paper.
All right.
All right.
Woo!
Hell yeah. Right back into the game. But first, we need to do a quick recap. Adrian,
The guy that knows.
would
Yes.
you like to do the honors?
All right, so this was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
so
it's
don't
been
get
a little
mad at me.
while.
But basically, what happened was we went to go get the papers to get into the loft. Couldn't get the papers to get into the loft. Busta was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna turn into a spider and go up the wall." So we did that, and then we went to go to the Coliseum to get the papers from Forge, and I had to spar him. He fucked it up. She tried to help a little bit. It was pretty fun.
Cool shit happened.
I lost. No, I won. Fuck yeah. Then we made it into the loft after we got the papers, and me and Nick are going. Cal and Nick are going to the temple to investigate what's been going on with the graveyard. Well, these two are in the prison trying to get Wolfie out, and the very last scene was Orion walking up to a mysterious stranger, and
Sketchy.
she was like, "Stupid pink bitch." There we go. That's it. Fuck her. She's the worst character ever.
There was
made.
prayer and fighting and diplomacy. Diplomacy?
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy.
Displum.
It's okay. It's a fantasy world. Maybe it's called diplomacy there.
Maybe.
But anyway, without further ado, let's get right back into it. Orion,
That's
you
me.
are still in the lobby with this figure. I believe she was disguised as an elven, Sylvan woman. I think
sounds familiar.
dressed in sort of a civilian garb. But for just an instant, she had retracted the disguise, and you could see that it is Zekra. I
What was the last thing she said?
don't think she said anything. She just shushed you and winked.
What are you doing here?
She kind of looks around a little conspiratorially and sees that the new secretary is still otherwise busy back behind the desk there, and
Got him.
she looks at you and says, "Well, you guys wouldn't come here, so I mean, I have to go myself. But it seems like you decided to come anyway. Well, maybe I should be asking you, what are you doing here?"
I'm here to get Wolfie.
She says, Right, your pet. Do you know where he is?"
Not exactly. I know he's in the prison somewhere. I assume that's the last place that he was. I think he's in here somewhere. I don't know where. I'd probably just look around, I guess.
She goes, "Would you be willing to help me with something? I feel like we could. Our two missions don't need to be separate. We could be mutually beneficial to each other."
Last time you proposed us being mutually beneficial to each other, one of my friends was stabbed and the other one ran away.
She says, "Well, your friends aren't here right now, so..." And she says, "Yeah, come on." And she says, "Secretary's not going to be distracted for very long. Come on." And she kind of gestures to you and starts walking towards the door into the prison.
I have nothing else to do but follow her.
All right, as you walk, she pulls this little, like, it looks like a pocket watch out of, like, a bag on her side, and sort of fiddles with it for a second, and then pops away the face that would generally tell time. And you can see there's a more intricate set of, like, dials and switches behind it, and she fiddles with it for a second, and then that the half-elf woman sort of shimmers for a second, and then she is garbed in the prison uniform. And she sort of looks back at you and smiles for a second and keeps walking. And what do? She's heading right into the prison.
What about me?
She looks back at you and says, "Well, I'm not sure I can..." Actually, she says, Do you have any magic of your own? Are you familiar with the magical arts?"
Not really.
Just
I can turn into a bear.
She says, "Actually, I have an idea." And she
I'm excited now.
she sort of shuffles around for a second, and then she pulls out this little, like, almost it's something folded up, some fabric, and then she looks at it for a second, and then comes over to you and actually flips your hood down and starts sort of fluffing at your coat to make it flap around you a little more mystically. And then she unfolds that little fabric, and it's this big, like, well, for you, oversized witch's hat. And she plops it right down on your head and looks at you for a second, looks at this big, like, this flowing visage she has created around you, and says, I think you'll blend right in.
You think
says,
so?
All right, keep our story straight. You're coming with me to help with the magic users upstairs. So you don't need to talk too much. Let me do most of the talking.
Do you know where Wolfie is?
He says, I would suspect he's probably up with the guards. Just judging by the fact that they don't really keep dogs in prison cells.
Well, what about your guy? Where's he?
And you're actually still walking down the halls. You've actually started to come by some cells at this point, and she pauses and kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and points out a window through an unoccupied cell. And you can see hanging above you, sort of like up, just kind of peeking out, there is a block of stone. It looks like about the size of a small room, suspended by 4 massive wrought iron chains hanging maybe a story above the courtyard. And she says, my guy's right out there.
I see why you needed help.
And she says, I'm glad you're so perceptive. And Cal, Nick.
His wisdom is like 7.
12?
12.
I'm impressed.
Remind us where you are right now.
I think we're just
We're
strolling
on
towards
the way to the temple.
the temple.
Yeah, so you are, for the first time, well, one of the first times, maybe not for you, Cal.
I've
but
been here
for-
like 10 times.
It's
You've been here once.
First-
I'm a-
Shut up.
First time I've been here though.
Actually, this is my 3rd time.
What was the first? Oh yeah, you were in prison.
I was
right?
in prison.
So you're up on Bridge Street in the loft, heading towards that big hexagonal building labeled 2, just for your reference.
Yep.
I don't have
Nice.
a map anymore.
That's the temple?
That is the
That's
temple.
awesome.
Shit, that's
Oh,
way
the-
bigger
the
than the
s-
prison.
the
Holy
stairs
shit,
go-
that's massive.
Man, the stairs go right into the temple.
I should have noticed that. The stairs, guys. We've been at this graveyard trying to figure out what's going on. There's a it shows it on the map.
The stairs on the other side of the wall go right into the
I mean-
temple.
We're so fucking
It's not my
smart,
job
guys.
to tell you to
Yeah.
pay attention to the map.
We've
Alright.
known that. We just
I don't
haven't
have a
done it.
map.
True.
You're also not here.
Got him.
I was in the
So-
graveyard.
You begin to approach a massive hexagonal tower, which is arising from this more slightly raised but wider hexagonal base. So it's sort of this big, like, almost domed hexagon with then a much larger tower coming out of the center that spirals up to this big Gothic top with these points and arches, maybe even some gargoyles, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's
love
But
that.
right in front of you,
awesome.
one whole side of the hexagon leading up to the front is a big staircase. And then there's this massive ornate wooden double doors at the top. But each side of the tower isn't just solid stone. Each side is dominated by this impressively detailed stained glass mural. And so you can see there's some religious like visages and just the general like stained glass sort of thing, but it goes all the way up the tower. And it's on each side. So as you approach this door, you can see it's carved. Like there are various like religious tableaux. So like scenes of the creation of the many races of Thuna Regia. Maybe something depicting Aethun's first acts bringing the world into existence. Maybe some of the more recent ones with martyrs and saints, but the whole doors are decorated similarly to the murals above it. What do you guys do?
Continue. How big is the doors? It's like something
It's
I
big.
can push.
They're big. You could knock.
Ooh, let's go knock. I think we should knock.
Sounds good to me. I'm just gonna.
There's a few moments of silence, and then you hear a from the inside, and then the door swings inward, and this young, maybe like 16, maybe even 15-year-old boy is standing inside, and he's dressed in those white robes with the gold trim, and he has this like lime green hair, and he looks up at the two of you for a second and goes, can I help you?
Yeah. We're looking to talk to Miss Delana. We heard this is where she operates out of, and she left us a note, and we were just going to follow up on that.
He says, oh yeah, of course.
Terrific.
Let yourselves in. And he steps away from the door. And as you cross the threshold, you can see that same mural. I mean, it's on the inside because that's how a window works. But it because of the fact that there aren't any regular windows, all the light inside is like refracted and colored by those stained glass. And so it's kind of dim. You can see there are these massive like crystal structures hanging from the ceiling. They look reminiscent of chandeliers, but they're not lit. It's just
They're just
crystalline structure.
Right.
okay.
And in front of you, it's this massive. The ceiling is maybe 100 feet above you. And then on the ground level with you, there are these rows of pews set into these like 6 slices from the hexagon, with paths to go down each of them. And then in the center, there's a raised dais where someone might stand to preach to the crowd around it. You see there are several of these clergy folk in the same garb walking around, doing some menial tasks, maybe reorganizing bookshelves, maybe just sweeping. But that boy actually kind of points you off towards another corner where you can see two figures talking. One of them, the priestess woman you saw before.
What are they talking about?
Too far away to tell. They're on basically the opposite end of the building from you.
Does it look like civil or?
Yeah, no, they're just chatting.
Is it rude if we just go up and like say that we're
Yo,
here?
what's going on with the fucking graveyard?
This is basically like
I mean,
this
let's
isn't.
okay. Let's like lead in with the talk about the note because we know that she left that note there for us. Then
yes,
once we're sort of like have something in common, hit her with the graveyard shit.
Well, we shouldn't really hit her with the graveyard shit.
Slam her with the graveyard shit.
We should subtly kind of slide it in.
Okay. Slide in the graveyard.
Vicious
Shit.
mockeries. Just
So we just sort of drop hints, and then she's like, "Oh my god, you know about my body stealing habits?" That sounds good. I'm
That's
gonna
your
go
plan.
over to her.
No, wait. Okay.
As you approach, she notices you coming up, and she looks at you for a second, and then you can see this recognition on her face, and she goes,
She knows.
"Oh yeah, you guys have made it.
Took us a bit.
Yeah, you're the ones. You helped out at the train crash a couple days ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was
I'll be
only a
honest.
couple
I didn't
days ago.
expect you to actually come talk to me.
Well, you did leave a note.
Yeah, we left
Yeah.
tons of notes. We left notes for most people who helped out.
Oh.
We've been trying to get, and she actually seems to grow sort of frustrated. She's like, we've been trying to get someone to listen to us for like a while now, and you're the first ones to show up. Is there anything I can get for you? Water, maybe tea?
I'm fine, but when we got the note, it was sort of like ripped up. So like, if you could just tell us what the whole note was that you guys wrote, that'd be great. Because we just got like, apparently some rats took it or something.
Oh yeah. It was slightly ripped.
Yeah.
She goes, "Oh, well, if you're here now, we can. I can just show you, but seriously, do you want something to eat first? This
I'm
isn't
quite
gonna
afford-
be
And you
pleasant."
said you have tea.
Yeah.
That sounds quite good. My voice is kind of shot from all the things I've been doing around.
You've died 3 times. You're
Yeah.
just getting run through the mill.
It's part of my canon now. My voice is fucked, guys. I'll be fine.
Oh, you
next
did get
episode.
stabbed in the throat.
I did get
That's a
stabbed
good
in the
point.
throat.
That's true.
How'd
That's
he
where
get
it's
stabbed again?
from.
Maybe he got
I got stabbed everywhere.
No, his worst one was he got
Yeah.
two,
Right
he
there.
got two
Oh, yeah.
displacement claws
Yeah.
right under the chin.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
of the episode
And actually,
before.
if you look on the character portraits, you can see your scars
Really?
underneath your chin.
Oh my fucking god.
You're
You
amazing.
beast.
That was Emily's suggestion, actually. But,
Emily, you're amazing.
so thank you, Emily. But
Thank you.
anyway, Miss Delana turns back to the man she was talking with, and she says, "I'm sorry, Charles. I'll be back in a bit. Just watch over things." And then she sort of like hurriedly. She seems kind of scattered, like a little panicked. And she starts sort of walking off, and then kind of turns and looks at you and says, Was I getting you tea, or were we doing something else?"
No, you know what? I don't need any
Talking,
tea.
talking
We can
is
just
fine.
talk.
We're fine.
How could you turn down tea?
I love tea in real life, but shut up.
She says, "All right, here, come with me," and she leads you up to that big wooden dais in the center of the room, and as you gather with her, she sort of motions you in closer, and she says, "All right, brace yourselves," and then she invokes a teleportation spell, and you are sent upward about 100 feet. But before that,
Fucking.
Oh my
dick.
god.
Busto, where are you at right now? We should get back. It's been 2 weeks. I don't entirely remember where you were.
I was, I believe,
He was
just
around the hallway,
You're
just
trying to get
crawling.
Wolfie.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm gonna say,
I stepped on it.
because I think you were in a cell when we left you off. You were like crawling through a cell to look out into the courtyard for Wolfie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the cell you were in is the same one that Zikra was showing Orion
What
the
I-
view through.
what I
So you do
recognize Orion-
notice Orion.
Even under the
He's
hat?
with even. Ooh, Busto.
I have
Intelligence.
20 perception.
You do have 20 perception. Yes.
Do you want me to
s-
roll a perception?
Don't worry about it. You recognize your short friend. You don't recognize the woman he's with, though.
Okay, that's fair.
That's his girlfriend.
I recognize Orion.
You do recognize Orion.
That's good enough for me, bro.
All right.
Prison guard's a bit worrying. So wait, can I actually?
Yeah, he is with a prison guard.
In
or-
wild, do you know if
Well,
in
looks
wild shape I can actually talk?
Not with a spider, I don't think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're a
I think you
spider.
have to speak in their spoken language.
Okay.
So you can,
That
if
makes
if
sense.
Orion can understand spiders,
Can you? Do you have arachna?
I don't think so.
It was worth a shot.
I could check, but I really don't think. I don't remember even seeing that as an
Is
option.
it- I don't know if you'd want me to. Can I try to grab onto Orion?
Shoot
as a spider,
Yeah.
yeah, you can add
Just
a.
climb up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I
I'd
was-
say you can probably intercept. They're sort of standing outside of the cell right now. You could go climb onto one of his.
Oh,
The
I know
folds
what you're
of his
saying.
robe.
I thought you
Would
were
I
like,
feel him?
fucking grab him.
Probably not. I
wasn't
mean, he is
sure.
a spider. You're not really.
But I mean, like, if a spider crawls on my skin,
Are you crawling up his leg, or are you just?
on my clothes.
Your clothes are pretty baggy, dude.
Right,
Yeah.
I understand. I didn't know if you were gonna just like.
I would probably like try to get into his.
Would I feel that he's getting on?
No, I don't like on your clothes, not in your skin. On your clothes.
In your skin.
On my clothes, but not like up like there.
What?
Like if this is my pant leg, are you going in here?
No.
Or are you going out
Are
here?
you touching
Ow.
his skin?
Oh, okay.
No.
You said
Okay.
in before, and I was like,
I meant like inside the jacket.
okay.
All right. Yeah. No. I'm not gonna make you roll for that. You scurry outside of the cell and climb onto the hem of Orion's clothing.
That's clear.
And Orion, Zikra has just shown you this cell.
Yeah, I can see why you need some help getting out of there.
I just realized I can't craft. I was just gonna cast Druidcraft, or something.
If you transform on my shoulders, I'm gonna be really mad.
Takes 88.
Like,
Yeah. So Zikra says, "Yeah, you can see the difficulty. Luckily, they're putting a lot of work into making sure everything up there goes right.
why is that luckily?
It's luckily because they're spread pretty thin. And
Nice.
we don't have to worry too much. If it was one of my men, I'd probably put a little more concern into it. But we don't have to worry too much about being gentle with the recovery." And she says, "Here, walk with me. We need to get upstairs anyway." And as she starts walking, she begins describing to you a little bit about how the prison works.
Do I get a gift? Do I get a
I'm sorry. You don't get a
God,
prop.
I thought I was getting a prop.
You don't deserve one.
fucking Isabel over here with
That's,
her
that's
boxes.
why
I
I was all excited.
deserve
Isabel's
them.
finally
I
break the
deserve
streak.
them.
She says, they have. If you've been in here before, which I know your friends have. I don't know about you. It's a couple floors, 2 floors of cells, and then a 3rd floor which they don't take prisoners to.
I knew there were 2 floors. I'd never been here, but the people I'm with said there were 2.
And they are not mistaken in that judgment. There aren't any stairs up to the 3rd floor. It's only the guards go there, and they all have these little. If you've ever noticed when walking around, they have these little blue stones around their neck, which they can use to activate the teleportation beacons inside of the prison and carry them up to the 3rd floor.
Does Zikra have one?
She says, I do not. We have a couple issues. We're going to need to act fast, and we are going to need to subdue some guards. But I think you and I can probably handle that. Don't you think, Orion?
I gotta hope so.
And she says, so.
Spider on my shoulder shaking his head no.
And she sort of seems to have started this more like almost a jovial pace. Like she's almost skipping. She's like, all right, let's list it out. We need one of the pendants.
Pendant.
We need to spread out on the top floor.
Spread out.
And we need to take out 2 of their guards at once.
Take out 2 guards.
Okay. And she says, they're guarding those chains, and if we can... She says, alright, so the issue is they have a lot of warding on that cell in the middle. I don't know exactly what they have. They keep a lot of this as very cloak and dagger. But I know they have at least a private sanctum, so we can't scry in there, we can't teleport. We have to get them out. We can't break in. Now, they have anti-magic fields on a lot of the prison and on the courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have it on the cafeteria.
Oh.
Now, if we take out the 2 chains opposite the cafeteria, we should be able to swing it and send it right through the wall into the side of the prison. And from there, it should be okay.
So how do you propose we do this?
They have a couple people. They usually have a few archers and a spellcaster on. If you go out in the courtyard, you can see they have these little slits in the walls for their men to shoot and cast spells out of. And if we go to them and subdue the people there, we can have our own fun out those windows, and we should be able to break the chains off of the wall. From there, it would be. I wish it would be nice if you were a spellcaster, because I know they have some explosive glyphs set on the cell there, and having those go off wouldn't be amazing.
Okay. What about? Do you think we should try to get like a prison break as like a good cover? You think we could try to initiate one of those?
That wouldn't be a bad idea. If we could tie up the guards somehow, if you can find some way to tie up the guards for a little, that would be very helpful.
Okay.
I do need to get you to the top floor at some point, because if we only break one chain, we can't guarantee which one will break next. And if we throw the cell into the wrong part of the prison, it all becomes a lot more complicated.
I see. Is there any guards, like guard posts that you know of? There's 1, if not 2 guards alone, because they'd be easy targets to get pendants.
She says, we actually should run into a patrol at some point soon. We're gonna have to pretend I'm bringing you to the top floor.
Yeah, I understand. Are you gonna be able to pull that off without a necklace?
She says, no, we will need to take it from them. Any ideas? I'm open to suggestions. I can keep them distracted, but...
If you can keep them distracted. 1 second. I gotta check something. Sleight of hand. Not terrible.
If I was there.
It'd be a lot better. It's not terrible. But you decided to go to the temple. I mean, if you want to do this, how good are you? Maybe I could distract him and you take the necklace.
That's a good idea. Here, actually, I have something you can help with that. maybe a little, make you seem a little bit more wizardly. And she pulls out a bunch of marbles, and she hands them to you. And then kind of just looks at you expectantly.
Okay, I see. One question.
Yeah.
What are these for?
Spectacle. She says, blow on them. And the marbles light up and begin to levitate gently above your hands, kind of like these little orbs of light.
Whoa. Can I, like, push them at people?
They're just a toy. They just float. It just makes you look a little more... And she kind of looks at you. She says, wizardly.
She's so cute.
Did I buy... I went to one of those stores and I got, like, a little Tinker toy, right?
You did get a Tinker toy. A little wind-up mouse, I think.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay. Let's go to the patrol.
She says...
If you,
and
if you will.
she actually pauses and kind of puts a hand in your ear. She says, I think there might be one now. And almost on cue, you can hear footsteps coming around because you're pretty close to one of the corners of the hallway. You can hear a few footsteps heading your direction.
Okay. Are there, like, cells with, like, open doors that aren't locked? Empty cells and stuff?
Are cells just left with the doors open usually?
I don't know. I'm not in prison very often. This is my first
Yeah,
time.
I'd say they kind of have those like sliding doors, so probably
Okay.
unoccupied ones are just left open.
Could she get
with
in
the-
one, and then I could go a couple ahead of her and get in one too?
Probably, yeah.
Okay,
I'd say you'd have time.
okay, get in that cell, and I'll go in this one. And once they pass you, I'll step out and distract them.
She says, should I be a prisoner?
If you can't hide, act as a prisoner.
And she says, got it. And she pulls out her little pocket watch and starts running towards one of the cells.
Okay, I'm gonna run. If she's like at this cell, I'm gonna run like 2 or 3 ahead of her, so that they'd have to pass her to get to me.
All right. Yep. So you get yourself into one of those cells as quickly as you can, and a couple seconds later, a troop of 2 guards comes around the corner.
Can I hear them?
You can see them.
I can see them.
They're walking right past your cell.
Okay.
Or past
So
your
like
cell.
they're like right. In front
They're
of me.
headed towards Zeker's cell after yours.
Oh, okay. Hey guys.
They kind of stop and
Oh my
they look
God.
over at you in an open cell. And they kind of look at you and they're like,
When you realize your charisma is 7.
oh.
Yeah, I know, right?
And they're sort of looking and they go,
If I was
Uh,
there.
are you in the right cell?
I didn't know I was supposed to be in a cell. They put me in here for no reason.
And one of them starts walking towards you and you see kind of moves his hand towards the rapier on his hip and he says, what are you doing?
I don't know. I'm talking to you guys.
And you see in the background Zika is kind of starting to poke her head out of the cell and is looking towards you kind of.
So is magic outlawed?
No.
Because that's the only thing I was doing when I was thrown in this cell.
Who brought you here?
I don't know. We
Are
were
you-
wearing the same thing you are.
Why are you in an empty corridor? What's going on? And he actually starts to kind of move towards you.
Hey, back up, man.
Dude, no. No, he keeps walking towards you.
You're like
I'm
this
gonna pull
tall.
out the marbles and blow on him.
He goes,
Wow.
he sort of steps back and he goes, seriously, why are you in here?
I was literally just talking to one of my colleagues. I work right at the temple.
He goes, all right, fine. Come with me. We'll get you sorted out. And he sort of.
Wait, where's Zekra?
You can see Zekra sort of stepping.
She's
out of
not
the
there
cell.
yet.
You didn't fucking tell her what to do. You just told her go sit in a cell.
I thought she'd understand to take off the necklace. Okay. Is one of them closer to me than the other?
Yeah, one of them's standing in the hall. One of them's in the cell with you.
And the plan has.
I thought she'd figure this out.
What did you want her?
happens
What did you
when
Come
genuinely
up
want her?
behind her. Come up behind one of the guys and take off his necklace
didn't you
while
tell
I'm
her?
distracting
Why
him.
did you tell her that?
Because I figured she'd figure that out. What else is she gonna do?
You just told her go sit in the cell.
Well, we were just talking about we need to get a necklace.
Okay.
I can think of something. Just give me a second.
I already thought something.
Shut up. You're not there. Just be a really good time if there's like a spider on my shoulder to transform, but I don't think there might be.
Oh, it would be. It would be a fantastic.
It would be a very
time.
fantastic time for somebody to transform, but I can't say that.
Metagaming.
I'm not allowed to say
I'm
it,
not
so I
going
didn't.
anyway.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. That's what I've been trying to tell you. I was in the temple, right? Okay, you there so far?
Yeah, he'll keep listening to you, but he's gonna bring you out of the cell.
Oh, he's got.
He's like grabbed you by the wrist.
Okay. He's like, all right. So listen, I was just in a temple doing my like duties as a temple worker, because I don't know any of the jobs in the temple. And then these two guards grabbed my arms and just started dragging me to the prison.
Yeah, he sort of is looking at you confused, but doesn't actually have time to respond because he's basically just pulled you to the edge of the cell when a third guard actually comes up and puts a hand right on his chest and pushes him back and goes, and this female half-elf guard goes, this isn't your job. We're supposed to bring him up to the 3rd floor. I don't know who told you to mistreat our hard workers. But look, I'll just take him. Don't worry about it. And she sort of grabs you by the wrist and starts bringing you away.
That went so wrong.
And
He whispers to the guard.
the two guards look at Zikra and they kind of look for a second and go. And then they look down at you and they say, Who are you exactly?
Gimbal.
Roll deception for me.
That feel when
Actually,
she
my
told
name
you
is Gimbal.
a fucking
It is.
ton of
It's-
times
I'm not-
what
it's not
to
a lie.
say, and you
It's not a lie. I didn't
Okay.
lie to him.
Still.
Okay, no, you know what? No, that's a good point. That's fair.
He should just do it with advantage.
No,
Sure.
I didn't lie. I didn't lie.
No,
No,
he didn't,
don't
he
listen
didn't
to him.
technically lie.
He did lie.
I
he
did
said
lie.
his name was Gimbal.
Which it
his
is.
name is Gimbal.
If that's his last name.
Doesn't
It's-
matter.
It's still a name.
Are you trying to cover something up?
I'm just holding my name.
You're.
In China, they say their
If you
last
were
name
just telling-
first.
No.
This
Roll the
isn't
die.
America.
Roll the die with advantage.
God, you could just shut your mouth.
Yeah, but I want it to be fair, and that didn't.
That
seem
is fair.
It didn't seem
Okay. Can I just do the first one because it's a 19 plus
That's fine.
Yeah.
deception is.
-1.
Oh wait, it's -2, so 17. Is that still
Yeah,
enough?
no. That the guard kind of relaxes and he looks at back to Zikra kind of for confirmation. She says, "They need more spellcasters. He's a bit eccentric, but."
See what I can do.
And she says she just sort of pushes you behind, and when she pushes you, she turns her hand
Look
to
at
kind of
my
push you away
marbles.
from the guard. You can see between she's palmed that little
Can I grab it?
blue pendant.
Oh my god, I
Yeah,
love
go ahead. Roll sleight of hand.
Oh, okay.
Did she take it off one of the
I
guards?
thought she was handing
she
it.
pushed it
I thought
back.
she was handing it to me while she was doing that. Was that what she was trying to do? You don't know. I thought that's what you were going for.
Dude, she's so much.
I mean,
better.
yeah, but
That one.
She's so fucking
a
nice.
nat one.
I'm not
buddy.
kidding.
Oh my.
I thought she was passing it to me. I didn't know you were gonna have me roll, and then you said
You
roll, and it was too
well,
late.
no,
You
she was
fuck-
passing it to you. You just had to do it sneakily.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know.
You fucked up.
Yeah. So so
I
you,
had to grab it. She was passing it to me.
you go to grab it from her hand, and it kind of catches, and then you drop it, and it clink hits the floor. And while you're sort of trying to catch it, you lose focus, and those marbles all go flying around, casting lights. But the guards look down and they see the blue pendant on the ground, and they go, "Hey, what's that?"
It's hers.
And Ziegler just goes, "Oh, sorry, my bad," and grabs it off the floor and kind of gives you a look, and then clips it back on her neck and says,
It's my fault.
sorry guys, Butterfingers, you know." And they kind of look.
So much better at this than you. Oh my god.
It wasn't my fault. I rolled. I don't have no control.
They kind of look at you two for a second and go, "Fine, just." And they look at Ziegler and say, "Keep this one out of trouble." And then they keep walking down the hall. And
All your fucking marbles
Zikra
are
kind of
gone.
pauses for a second and then goes,
As we leave, can I pick up one marble?
"You can pick up the marbles."
Oh, really? I'm picking them all.
Yeah. She sort of looks back at you and says, "You know, I was kind of upset that you guys blew me off. But if this is how it would have gone,
Oh my god.
Maybe it's for the best.
All right, listen, lady. Where were you while I was distracting you? You could have taken it then.
I was in the cell exactly where you told me to be.
You really didn't see where I was going with that?
It was a pretty vague plan.
It seemed pretty, like, you should have known what to do.
No.
We're talking about taking a necklace, and then I tell you to hide while I distract them, so you're just gonna watch?
He's just yelling this in the hallway and it's echoing down to the house.
She says, "You wanted me to just."
That's good.
You can hear Wolfie in the distance.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she
It's
says,
like I can hear him.
She says, "You okay?
Let's just go get
Yeah.
let's go get my friend, then your friend.
Let's get up to the 3rd floor. Barring the fact you wanted me to sneak up on 2 guards and take a necklace off them in an empty hallway, it's no big deal. It worked out in the end.
Thanks
Road
to
bumps
her.
make the adventure." And she says, "Let's just continue on."
I'm starting to like her.
She says,
She's
she
perfect. Now you see.
she goes,
Wish she wasn't so clueless.
"I can make," she says, "Okay. Against my better judgment, we do still need a distraction. So, if I head up to the 3rd floor and start,
You should be the distraction this time.
well, we're gonna need. Hear me out first.
Okay.
If I head up and start getting us into a position where we can pull off
The heist.
the heist quickly, can you start organizing something big, flashy, and distracting down here?
As in the prison break?
That would be a great idea. Just make sure," and she sort of points ahead, and you can see there are these little runes carved on the floor, and she says, "Just make it back here at the end of it, and I can bring you upstairs. Okay?
So you want me to be part of it, but then leave once we get here?
I need you to cut one of the chains with me.
I see.
So if you start a distraction down here, I'll get us a window of opportunity up there, and then
Okay.
we can meet up again right here and pull it off all at once.
Sounds like a plan.
Because excellent. Just don't get yourself killed. Try and make it back here." She says,
Road bumps are the adventure.
"Road bumps of the adventure." She backs up towards those glyphs, and that necklace sort of lights up, and then she just grabs it with one hand and is gone. And Cal and Nick,
Oof.
very similarly, you have just been teleported up to the upper sanctum in this church temple. What?
Everyone's zooming around
Everyone's
here.
zooming around. Busto's just going for a ride on Orion's shirt sleeve. And you have just teleported into this room that appears to be at the top of the tower. You can see there's these little, smaller, regular windows that are looking out over the city. And before you is this very cluttered room. It looks like it might be some mix of like a joint bedroom and a work study area. There's a bunch of beds, a ton of bookshelves, and a few desks scattered around. But they've all been pushed to like the edge of the room to make room for this one big table in the center. And around the room, Miss Delana starts walking to one of the edges to start preparing tea or grab some books or something. And it is quite nice up there. It's warm, it's sunlit, it's wooden, it's pretty beautiful. Except occupying that large table is a man dressed in white robes, lying on his back, and he looks like he's been dead for about a month.
Can't say I'm surprised. Disgusting.
Please
Kinda.
explain.
Delaney looks, she goes,
That's what I'm saying.
"Yes," and she sort of sets down the tea and says, "Maybe later." And she walks over to you and goes, "Okay, what do you two seemed fairly competent. You did an amazing job in that train crash.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We try.
So, can you tell me a little bit about yourselves?"
Fuck. You go first. You're quite good at this.
She goes, I need to know your experience with the world."
Oh, well, not much really. I was part of the MPF, and no, I'm not. We're just two travelers. Not much about us, really. Nothing special.
She says, okay. Have you ever dabbled in or been exposed to necromancy?
No.
No.
Uh-uh.
Nah.
She says,
Big no.
and she sort of actually seems to let out this like sigh of relief, and she says, okay. And she actually seems to get a lot more business, and she goes, have you ever, or are you now, practitioners of any major religions?
No. I believe in.
Nope.
Okay, no.
Have you ever?
Why is this needed?
She says,
Sorry,
I
I don't
she says,
see the point.
Look, I promise you'll understand in a moment. I just need to know if I can trust you first. She says, have you ever interacted with the Church of the Dead God?
No. I don't know who
No.
that is.
I would have probably heard a bit.
And she actually, while you're answering, she waves her hands, and you can see this like slight like white aura come around her eyes for just a second, and then she breathes a sigh of relief, and she says, okay, I'm gonna trust you with this, but you cannot, and I mean cannot, repeat this outside of this room.
I'll cross my heart and hope to die. And Cal does too.
Sounds good.
She goes, that is the high priest. He's the leader
Was.
of our well, I suppose was, but he met an unfortunate fate, as you can see. There are a lot of people who have some very interesting views about what should and should not constitute proper religious values. And he was killed, as you can see, which sounds like a big deal, but the church has a lot of resources. We have plenty of people who can cast the resurrection spell, so it shouldn't have mattered very much. But it didn't work. And she says, and then we started hearing reports from other parts of the country of people dying and being resurrected and just not coming back right. And she says, so we've kept him here for a while. We've suspended him. He's actually been here like this for almost a year and a half.
Jeez.
And she sort of waves her hand. She walks over to the table now and kind of waves her hand, and you can see this like shimmering golden bubble almost appears around him. And she says, we've been preserving him as best we can, slowing the passage of time for his body, hoping we can bring him back. And she says, okay, wait. And she actually stomps her foot for a second on that floor, and a second later, two figures pop, teleport up into the room alongside you two. And she says, Charles, Emmett, could you show our guests what happens here again? And they actually look really hesitant. They kind of look at her, and one of them speaks up. The one she was talking to before Charles actually goes, "Are you sure, Miss Delana? We can only pull that off a couple more times." And she goes, I think we might be able to get them to help, but they need to know the stakes. And then the two of them kind of pause for a second and recross their arms like this and nod to her, and then each walk over to a side of the high priest, and they begin placing some valuable gems and stuff around. The traditional setup for a true resurrection spell. And then the two of them begin to chant in unison, and they put out their hands and start chanting and making the common hand motions, and you see this these threads of golden light begin to twist and worm around the room in and out of the priest's corpse, and then this shimmering silhouette of the priest appears above his body and then is slowly pulled back into the corpse. And then all at once, the vitality returns. The sunken cheeks, the exposed teeth, all of that regrows, and he comes back to looking like someone who's just sleeping. And then they release their hands, and there's a moment, a brief pause, and then he goes, and he breathes in, and he opens his eyes, and he looks around, and he turns and looks right at you two, and he opens his mouth, and he says, "Ah!" And then he looks at you again, and he starts shaking, and he grabs at your wrist, and he says, "His eyes!" And he looks at you, and then looks at the priest around him. He says,
Who?
He's the priest is the one shouting.
No, I'm asking who. Like.
Oh, who?
Whose
He
eyes?
says, "God's eyes! They're full of maggots!" And then there's this pop, and that golden light bursts back out of his body. And he instantly, you see that rot just overcome him again, and the corpse collapses back onto the table. Orion.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm afraid to follow that.
What are you doing right now?
Well, she just got zipped up. Right? I'm in a empty hallway except for a bunch of cells, right?
Yep.
Are most, if not, are all of them, or just most of them, or some of them empty, or are there some people?
Once you get out of that little hallway you were in before, because it's just 4 hallways in a square, like a donut. And once you head a little ways away from where you were, you can start. There are a bunch of cells that are full.
No
Most of the
guards.
full cell, there's guards patrolling around, so you have to. Yeah, I'd say since the first one went past you, there's gonna be another one soon, and you're gonna have to find some way to hide.
Right. How wide are the bars?
Not wide enough for you to slip through.
Right, but how wide are they? This wide? So like 6 inches?
Oh no, the bars. The
No,
bars
like
are
I
thin.
mean like in between each other.
Yeah,
like,
there's
spacing
maybe 6 inches, maybe a little bit less, maybe more like 4.
No, that's probably not enough. Okay. Is there a way that I could like somehow climb the wall? Like
Outside?
No, inside the hallway. So like when people are coming, I could like climb up the wall and be like on the wall, up out of sight.
It's only about 7 feet high. It's not that high, and they're stone walls. Like it's all cells on
I
either
see.
side from you.
Trevor,
I didn't think
Yeah.
there was.
what would Busto know at this moment, considering he is a spider?
Yeah, can you understand?
Like
this?
know about what?
What's going on?
I mean, you can understand them.
Okay, I just can't talk.
Yeah,
Okay.
spiders can hear, bro.
I was making sure like I would be able to understand their language. Okay.
Is that it?
At the moment, I can do shit.
There aren't any other empty cells.
There's, if you
That I
walk
can
for a
get-
while, you could probably find one.
Before a guard came. Would that be a gamble?
That would be a gamble.
Can I run?
You could run. You'd have to roll stealth to try and not call attention to yourself if you start running.
Last
I
time
kind of want him to mess up.
Last time I did a dex roll, it didn't work out very well. This time I did a dex roll, worked out a little better. 18.
Yeah. So you start running
kinda
while
hoping you'd
trying to
fail.
keep your steps light. And you as you approach, you're going down one of these hallways towards another right turn. You can hear guards' footsteps from the hall perpendicular to you, and you're sort of scanning the hall, the cells right next to you, and 2 down from the end, you find an empty one, and you duck into it right as the guards come around the corner.
Can I? Would they pass me without even really noticing me?
Well, the door's open.
Can I shut that? Whoa, no. Can I shut that almost all the way?
Like, gosh, I don't know what the English word is. Encostar a porta. It's like
Stop speaking other languages.
Or could I hide under the bed or hide in the room?
It's basically just a hay cot. You could try and shut it most of the way. I'm gonna need you, maybe, what would it be? Stealth, sleight of hand?
I'd say sleight of hand.
Yeah.
I'd have to try and
Without,
shut
like,
it without
creaking.
like creaking or,
Emerald said
By the way,
sleight of
Trevor-
hand.
yeah.
I'm at 2 HP.
You are at 2 HP.
I'm at 10.
I'm at
So, like,
23.
Is there anything in between this episode and last episode?
Like a walk up the.
There
Yeah,
was
no,
not.
there's nothing. I'm at 10.
My voice is getting worse and worse, guys.
Yeah, mine's sort of starting to scratch up too. Thanks, Adrian.
9?
9.
I have one question.
Not
Yeah.
super bad.
If I kind of hear squeaking, can I do something?
It depends on what it is.
I wanted to jump off of him and turn into Busto, in between him and the door.
So instead of squeaking, it's.
Yeah.
and I can't shut the door.
Yes.
You do this as as he starts shutting it, or once he has it almost all the way?
If it's creaking.
Yeah. So Orion, when you grab it, you start to move it, but you're kind of panicked and rushing, and it kind of just a little bit as you start to shut. Yeah. So very abruptly, Busto just
Jesus!
into view in front of you. And what do you do, Busto?
I'm going to pick him up.
Why? Why?
Turn invisibility, bro.
Okay, you know, it's 7-foot high ceilings and you're 8 feet tall.
Okay. Invisibility.
Okay.
Do you
I
know
don't know how we're gonna fit.
I can crouch, bro. So I am going to cast invisibility.
Mm-hmm.
A useful spell, especially in a situation like this. Considering you almost fucked it up. Okay.
You could have used this any time.
No, I can't because I can't do it while I'm in wild shape. I can't cast spells and.
You could have.
Also, it doesn't carry over to him, does it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, shit.
Invisibility is touch.
Touching
Yeet.
prison, which is
If he wants to use his two spell slots, that's fine.
So, you're welcome.
I'm not saying
What
thank
can
you
I
yet.
say?
I'm not saying thank you
You're
yet.
welcome.
Actually, I'm not gonna do that.
Really?
That's why I didn't say
I'm
thank
gonna.
you yet.
I'm only gonna cast invisibility on him.
Ooh,
Okay.
thank you.
Which is action, and then I'm gonna cast hidden step on myself. Furbog magic, boys.
All right.
What's hidden step?
It's knockoff. It's knockoff invisibility. It's only for a round, 6 seconds.
Okay.
It's only for 6 seconds?
Yeah, well, it's for a full round.
So they peer in, and
And
no
you
one's there, and there's.
Yeah.
But I'm invisible for good, man.
Well, actually, okay. If I don't know if this would take too long, but because I had a plan, but I don't know if I could do it. I still have a wild shape.
Yeah, you could turn back into a spider.
You'd just be a floating spider.
I'm actually gonna turn into something else.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll paint the picture.
Fucking worm.
I'm not turning into a blank dog.
And
don't
invis-
worry.
Okay, I was just curious. Yeah, so Ryan, as you go to shut the door, though, Busto just in front of you, and you kind of go to like cry out, and he just puts a hand over your mouth, and then you just feel this like almost this like cold creep across your whole body, and when you look down, you can't see your hands anymore.
And then I'm going to while crouching, as I'm gonna try to dive behind the hay bales.
Yeah.
And guess
Well,
what I'm
the,
gonna
like-
turn into, boys?
What are you gonna turn into?
A cranium rat.
Oh shit.
Telepathy, motherfucker. Yeet. Anyway.
Yeah.
The way he pronounced that was.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's
that was
there's
funny.
still enough room for people to go in and out.
You're 2 feet, yeah.
Well, right, but I mean, you were standing in the doorway.
Yeah, but I just jumped and turned.
I'm
into
just
a
asking. I didn't shut
Yeah.
the door all the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Busto puts his hand over your mouth. You turns you invisible, and then just dives behind you and turns into a little cranium rat.
And then
And,
through telepathy, I'm just gonna say, "Hello."
How do would I know
Yeah,
how far
and-
that goes? Like how far I can go with that? Would somebody
Wait, do
able
they
to-
speak common?
It's whatever he speaks.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cranium rats are
telepathy's
pretty
useful.
cool.
Would I be able to like hear him if I like leave for a ways away?
You don't know. And also, the guards are walking right in front of your cell right now. They've just come around the corner and they sort of look in for a second. And one of them kind of looks at the door and sort of pushes it back all the way open.
Not moving.
And then they just shrug and keep walking.
So, can I think?
Yeah, he can think and talk.
Busto and like form it as a question. Busto in my head.
I'm imagining him like they're like just going like, Busto, like trying.
You
so
can't
hard
see
to
me.
think.
You can't see me.
Yeah.
You can't think that.
True. Yeah. No. Busto, you kind of.
But that is what
It's
he's doing.
less a
Yeah.
coherent thought and more you just sense confusion coming from him.
I would simply say, "Hello, it is me, Buster."
Oh no. Okay. Where are you? All in my head.
Behind the hay.
I'm gonna turn and look at the hay. And I'm like, you can't fit under
When his intelligence is lower than mine.
there. Your intelligence is.
It's
good.
not. That's why it's
not
a joke.
good. But
It's better than mine. It's double mine. Anyway, I would simply say, can I try to get up on top of it, on top of the hay bale, and like
Yeah.
do a little wave?
Yeah. You
There's a
see
rat.
this
Fucking ratatouille.
This
He's just-
really
Yeah, I
well.
know.
It's a rat. It's a little bit bigger than a normal rat, and
Foaming
it
at
looks
the
like
mouth.
the top of its head has been sawed off, exposing its brain underneath.
ew, rat. No. I wouldn't do that.
Swear to God.
He's
You've still got the
waving to
giant goofy
you.
hat too. You should keep that
It's
in mind.
invisible.
It is invisible.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. Thank you. Can I like pick him up and put it in it, and he'll be invisible too?
It is Ratatouille.
If you put him under the hat, would he?
Would he be invisible?
Fuck yeah! No, that's real cool. Yeah, definitely.
Yes,
100%.
okay, yes.
I'll allow that.
Ratatouille, bro.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go
Fucking
over to him.
serious.
I'm like,
The
I'm gonna be
video.
like,
They've gone
Buster,
full
don't move.
Ratatouille.
Take off the hat, pick him up, and put it in it.
Wait, he doesn't put him in the hat. He puts
You
him
put it
his
on the head and then the hat on top.
He's
On
just
a,
like,
of a rat? If it was big on me, it'd be big on a rat.
no.
I'm confused
You're
now.
so dumb.
I'm putting in him.
It's this, and then the hat.
And the hat goes on top to hide the rat.
No, I don't want to do that.
That's what's gonna
That's
happen
what Ratatouille
anyway.
is, motherfucker.
No, I'm not doing Ratatouille. I'm doing my own thing.
You are doing Ratatouille.
No, I'm not. That's dumb.
Why?
So instead of him putting it on his head first, he's gonna
I
put
had
it
a
in the
whole
hat first.
plan, and then
That-
you're just bringing in the movie, and I
That
didn't even
changes
think of that.
everything.
Fine, do the Ratatouille thing. I
Thank
was
you.
thinking more like a Santa sack type thing.
I don't want to be in your sack, bro.
I haven't watched Ratatouille in years. Anyway, can we just get on with the game, please?
Sneaker's gonna come back downstairs and you've cooked like fucking meals and
I know
shit.
they
and,
do
like,
the pasta thing.
oh my.
Mamma mia.
Anyway, he's under
So
my hat.
somehow
I don't
you
care.
have.
If you
have
pull on
Buster
my
here.
hair, you asshole.
He's gonna
He's
put
like,
his
left.
yes, dear you.
Busto, it's dark.
I have dark vision.
You can't see
Yeah,
floor.
you see a hat and some
see
white hair.
fabric.
That's about it.
Can I see through it because it's invisible?
No.
No, I don't
No.
think
Because then
so.
it'd be transparent.
Yeah, I think if you could see through it, you'd be
Yeah,
just
it's
a
like
floating
invisible
A
on
floating
the
rat.
outside.
rat. Yeah,
So,
I'd say it's invisible on the
Can I
outside.
start? So now I'm invisible. If I walk, how much noise does that make?
If you walk slowly enough, not very much.
Okay. Can I just start walking
There's a roll for
cell
that.
to
If
cell?
you have to walk past
guards.
guards, you'll have to roll stealth. But just
if I just
walking
freeze
normally.
on the side, I wouldn't. I could just be sitting there. Yeah, I'm invisible. Come on.
You'd have advantage.
Unless they bump into me.
I want to look up invisibility real quick.
Is it he has advantage or they just
I'm not
do
sure.
a perception check?
As you're doing that though, since there's no guards, can I just go to cell, start recruiting people for a prison break?
Sure. How are you?
Are you
doing?
fucking-
You're invisible.
I'm
we
supposed to
already
get a
tried this.
distraction.
We already
I'm
tried
supposed to
this.
get a distraction.
I know. I was already looking at the camera, just going.
You
We
can
did this
talk to
once.
him though. We can't. You can.
We,
I mean, yeah. I think you're
I'm a
just.
genius. I can't.
I mean, they just. It's just they can't see you as long as you don't make noise.
I'm supposed to make a distraction.
Buster would do. Yeah, Buster would do.
What?
Okay.
Go
Don't
ahead.
worry about it.
Do what you're doing.
Let's go to a Let's go to a cell.
All right, I'm going to the first cell that there's somebody in it.
Yeah. You can see this big like dragonborn woman who seems to be just sort of idly like tapping one of her claws against the other.
A Thun commands you.
Did you say that? You're a rat.
Telepathy.
Into her.
yes, yes, I love
All
this
right.
guy
Exactly
today.
why I,
I love
said
this
that.
guy tonight.
Yeah. He's like,
I got you, bud.
Yeah. Did you see that dragon?
Listen to the voice
Kind
of
of looks
God.
around and she like,
Left.
looks up and then like she looks super confused.
You break out of prison.
I never imagined a Thun would sound like this.
he
Wait,
sounds like
how
a
would a rat
fucking
sound?
idiot.
How would it
It's
sound as a
me,
rat?
it's
It would,
me,
it would be
it's
your
telepathy.
voice. Okay.
It'd be really
Well,
funny if you
Um,
just heard
telepathy.
peep peep. It just fucking squeaks. I can't do it because my voice, but
Man, what are you even fucking roll for this?
You don't. You just let it happen.
I'd say
Break
intimidation.
persuasion.
I'd roll intimidate, cause you're kind of doing the Aethun commands you.
that's true.
It's sort of a fear thing.
Except it's about to.
Fucking me as a goddamn.
He pronounces it wrong. He's like, Aiden.
Aethun.
Aiden commands you.
Aiden Commander.
About to command you.
17.
He
17.
did get it.
Yeah. She sort of looks like startled, and then just sort of seems to like straighten up and sit at the ready.
You will know your time.
She's still looking up, and she kind of just like.
Can we go to cell to cell and just do the same?
Yeah,
Alright.
that's exactly
Yeah.
what.
You can start. Yeah. So I'd say you ratatouille your way off. And
Why the fuck did
Start.
we not do this before?
Because they don't
Um,
have invisibility.
But while you're doing that, Cal and Nick.
Yeah.
So you just saw this very freaky thing,
Yeah.
That was a bit fucking weird.
and Miss Delena's kind of standing there with her hands clasped and kind of looking at you, almost like wincing a little bit, waiting to see your reaction.
Well, I don't really know how to explain that.
Yeah, like,
She-
what do you want us to
Yeah,
say
what-
here? Because that was, like, insane.
The question is, what do you want us to do?
She says, we think there is something interfering with the soul's path from this plane to the next. Since it seems confined to a fairly small area, like we've sent some people out towards the east and western kingdoms down on the peninsula, and they have not reported the same thing. They've had resurrections go through fine. We have reason to believe that there is some physical thing causing this somewhere near us. And judging by his comments, we have some idea who it might be. And she sort of gestures you close, and she teleports you guys back down onto that wooden dais, and she says, "You're not. How familiar are you with the creation myths
Not
of
very.
Thunica Alta?"
I'll be honest, not a lot at all.
Not a lot for me either.
And she says, "But you at least know the like earliest history, the rise of the island and the birth of the first children."
I've read. I would know that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Do I know that?
No, you're dumb.
probably not,
I'm
because
real
you've been
dumb.
sort of you know who Aethun is,
The really
Ah.
bad goblins.
the big G god of this world,
Yeah.
but
I don't
besides
know.
that, not so much.
I don't know what she means by like the islands and the children and all that shit.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't know what she's talking about.
I'm
there.
like in class when the teacher's like, "You guys all get it," and you're like, "Yeah." So I'm doing exactly that.
I have some knowledge about it, yes. I've read about it a couple times, but I'm not too familiar.
She says, "Could it would be good for me to know. Could you explain to your friend a little bit about what you know, and I can try and fill in the gaps."
Well, this is you testing me to see if I watched your
I-
first video, isn't
know.
No,
it?
this is me not wanting
I
to
actually have
repeat things I've
every
already
single
said.
fucking thing of that written down, like word.
Well, there was originally one god, right? Which was Aethun. And he rose the land from the sea and the people. And then there was a rebellion, right?
She says, "Yes, here, maybe we should do this the right way." And she walks to the center of that dais, and she sort of shoos you off of it down into some of the pews. And you actually see those. She starts sort of moving around. It looks like she's sort of almost warming up for something. And you can see all the other little priests around her have stopped whatever they're doing to look up towards where you guys are standing. And you guys are now just off of the dais, to sort of at like the bottom of the little steps leading up to it. And those two priests from before actually teleport back into this worshipping room, basically. And Delana starts to just sort of like move her hands, almost this weird like meditating dance or something, and these little pinpricks of light start flowing out of the end of her fingers. And she turns to you again and she says, "Do you two have patrons of your own?"
No.
Nope.
And she says, "Shame. Oh well. What?" And she kind of gestures to a few more of the priests to come in a little bit closer, and they raise their right hands, and you can see after a second their palm just boom, lights up, and this glowing handprint is just emanating out of their hand, and they all start to raise their hand to do the same thing, and Delana sort of walks back to the center of this dais, and you can see that light from their hands has started to almost like infuse her garb, and it started to almost like flow on its own, and then she raises a hand above her head, and you can see that light is starting to coalesce around one fist, and she brings it up above, and you can see it stretching across her veins, lighting up her whole arm, almost like when there's a flashlight shining through your skin.
Oh, I like that.
And that light from the people around you's hand starts intensifying. Actually, your hands, though you've kept them down, you can see this faint light start to glow on your own, and you kind of go like that. And then Miss Delana looks to you and almost seems a little bit excited and says, "Let me tell you a story." And then she throws her hand upward like this, and this beam of light casts up from her all the way up to the ceiling and hits this one crystal in the center of that big web, and they start to all light up, and they infuse the whole room with this warm light, which actually seems to reflect back out into the murals around you, and that stained glass starts to glow too, and then it shifts a little bit. The figures almost seem to breathe in, and then all the colors start to mix together, and that glass swirls until it coalesces into this opaque black sheen. But first, Orion and Busto.
That's us.
It is you. Where are you? How far through have you made it at this point?
Probably as far through as your description.
I'd say you've gotten most of the hall sort of prepped. There's been a few that have kind of turned you down, like haven't responded as the same way as that woman. Some have just rolled over. Some of them you couldn't even like. Either you couldn't speak to them or they couldn't hear you. But for the most part, people seem to be intimidated into cooperation.
2 questions.
Yeah.
1, 4 hallways of cells. First floor and second floor?
Yep. Well, second floor, I think it's
probably
first floor has 1.5 hallways.
Okay, and the cafeteria.
Yeah, there's no one in the cafeteria right now.
Okay.
It's like 4 o'clock. in the afternoon, I think.
Top floor has 4 hallways, and I've been in 2 so far.
Yep.
The one I was in before doesn't really have anybody.
Not so much.
Okay.
The western hall is pretty much empty.
Okay. So how many people would you say we have right now? Rough estimate.
Probably a good 20, 27.
20 to 27.
All of them look strong enough to hold their own?
At least to cause a bit of chaos.
Okay. So once no guards are around.
Guards actually have been patrolling the whole time. You guys, through your invisibility, have managed to stick to the shadows and skirt your way around. You're pretty small, so it's not that hard.
Right.
The hat makes it a bit unwieldy, but
So
you've made do.
as we approach the end of the hallway, I think I'd kind of think the Busto is like, okay, so now that we have a few people, we need 2 more things. We need the key to get them out, and we need weapons or something so they can cause a riot.
This is going to be very much so your discretion, Trevor. And
That
I
always
hate
concerns me.
And I fully admit that. Can I use Druidcraft to do 2 things?
You're a rat. You can't cast it.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
Ah,
asking, like,
damn.
in general, if this would work. Can I create vines from Druidcraft to break the locks open, like as they
From
grow.
the inside.
That's
What?
awesome.
From the
Oh my
inside?
God.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
like,
like inside the lock.
So the vines would like go into the lock and then start to
Expand.
expand as they make them grow.
What's the limitations on Druidcraft? Could you do it?
It's basically thaumaturgy. It's druid thaumaturgy.
Can you do like all of them
Basically.
at once or just one at a time?
It's a 30-foot range, I believe.
I don't think they're built into the door, so they're these big iron locks. I don't think you can break them.
Okay.
Pick them all.
I was gonna ask if you had any experience with lock picking, that you could maybe use them to push the pins, but I don't think Busta would
No,
know how to do that.
realistic.
Unfortunately, I don't think Druidcraft. I don't think you can break iron locks with vines.
Okay. Then,
He's not done.
I'm never done, Trevor.
You're never done. I know.
I'm never done.
I know.
So, this is gonna be kind of interesting. So technically, I do have heat metal, Trevor.
You do.
I do have
I
heat
don't know if
metal.
you
this is a
can melt metal
throwback.
with heat metal.
So you're wearing metal.
I know.
I
Like
that is
having-
the single
I'm having
worst question. I
PTSD.
can
It's so weird because you have to say yes almost all.
Because everyone's fucking wearing metal.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
So choose a manufactured metal object, such as a metal weapon or a suit of heavy armor, that you can see within range. You cause the object to glow red hot. Is red hot enough to be able to make it not necessarily melt, but weaken, so that
yeah. So like we can hit
perhaps someone like Big Boy Orion over here could just run into?
it 2 feet tall. Run into. Why can't I just hit it with my axe?
We're really finagling
Locks
things
are
right
usually
now.
designed with pretty
Okay.
high temper metal.
But they're also.
I don't
That's
know if
true.
you're gonna be able to just snap them off their
What if?
hinges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really good ideas.
They're good ideas. It's just it is a prison. It's
Yeah.
designed not to fail.
Really
like the
good
whole
ideas
point.
working.
That's true.
Okay.
Okay.
So you still haven't answered my question though.
What was your question?
We still have two things: the locks and the weapons.
Oh, and then the second one was, can I use Druidcraft at least to grow multiple small trees, to use as sticks as weapons?
Yeah, you can use trees as bludgeoning weapons.
Oh.
Would they be too strong? Could they be strong enough you can rip them out?
Can you
Yeah.
do you need ground to grow trees?
Not technically, no. I don't think I
He
can.
grew moss in the
Yeah.
jail.
Moss is there's a
Yeah,
big
there's a
step up
difference.
between moss,
Moss
and
and
trees.
trees.
I'm just trying to think if you could definitely
You
make
can
them in
grow
the
a flower without any soil.
you did.
On the moss.
Again, it's a tree. You could definitely grow trees in the courtyard. I'm not sure if you could do them in the cells.
Okay.
Flower.
You could do a really big one with a bunch of branches. So
Well,
you could
I was thinking
lean-
that, but that would take too long.
Lean out our window. That's true.
I think that would take too long. Okay, so
That's
we
good
have
for
to
each cell.
we have to get people. What is dinner time?
When's dinner time?
And what time is it?
It's we said it's about 4 o'clock,
Yep.
and dinner
Maybe 2
time
hours.
is at 5 p.m.
Oh,
Only an hour. That's a short rest too.
it's true. So then we got the locks. Now we need a new. Now we still need the weapons, but we also need to figure out how we can get them rioting without just being shot down by the guards.
So I'm gonna tell him to go to Zirconium.
Sure.
I love how his character would never be able to remember it, but also Arthur's
Arthur
fucking
just
Yeah,
is
I'm
an
just fucking
imbecile.
going on all the time.
oblivious.
So I'm just gonna simply say, Orion, we go to Zirconium.
You mean Zekra?
Yes.
She told us we needed to make a distraction, like a big one.
Wait 1 hour.
Why?
By the sun, I had dinner in roughly an hour because I was here.
You were here.
I thought
I'd
you were
say
gonna do
because
another one of those
it started at
stupid
4. It's probably 4:15 now. You're a little ways through 4 o'clock.
Are Are you trying to tell me they're gonna eat? You have to say something. You're on my head.
Yeah, we caused riot in
Then.
cafeteria.
Okay, that's not
For the
bad.
second day in a row.
Was that yesterday?
It is
It
the
was, I
second
think.
day in a row.
Man, the prison's gonna have a fucking bad couple of days.
That's a good point. Anyway, okay, that's not a bad idea, Busto. But what about weapons, and how would we get them past the guards watching the cafeteria? I mean,
I
I'm
know.
sure they'll probably increase the amount of guards after what happened yesterday.
But now we have more people.
We do have more people, right? But I still think the guards would have the upper hand, and they also don't have weapons to defend themselves. Just fists versus swords. It's not a good combo.
Yes, but we are not trying to break them out. We're trying to cause havoc.
It's true, but I just think it would be better if the havoc was outside the cafeteria. You know what I mean? Throughout the whole prison instead of just one area.
How you break lock?
To get into the weapons.
Zekra get key.
That's an idea. Not a bad idea. How do we get to Zekra
Where's Zekra?
in a place we can't get to without a necklace? We don't have a necklace.
I'm out of wild shapes. I could totally do it if I had another wild shape, man. I would just turn into a blink dog and teleport up there. Damn it.
We could go by the the armory, and see if there's anyone there. I mean, I'm sure there will be, but we can see how much. Oh, he's got an idea.
Watch him go. Million thoughts a minute. It's your boy.
Busto's actually the smartest
Busto,
one.
go shuttle. How many last names does he have now?
Too many.
Busto go shuttle. I don't. It's a lot.
Badger.
It's a lot.
He just can't articulate his thoughts. He's like insanely fucking
He
smart.
didn't have a name until 3 days ago. Maybe
Accurate.
2 days ago. I don't know.
Accurate. What my question is, what is technically
I hate that word coming from your mouth.
telepathy's range? Because according to Forgotten Realms, it just says telepathy was a psionic mental ability that enabled one intelligent creature to send and receive thoughts to another intelligent creature and communicate without words or shared language. It doesn't technically say a range that I see.
Well,
I'm sorry to rules lawyer.
I'm just thinking. So, what are you trying to do, if I can ask?
Simply try to talk to Zekra.
Oh.
Honestly,
Clever.
you are pretty close. I was worried you were gonna do something like talk to someone on the other end of the city. If yeah, within the building, I'm sure. Like
Oh,
these
okay.
swarms generally communicate over fairly large distances.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you could definitely talk to Zekra.
Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of picture Zekra in my mind and go, hello.
Um,
Love it.
Scare the shit out of her.
I need you to roll something to see how if you can pull this off successfully.
Okay. Just raw wisdom.
Probably yeah, just raw wisdom for me.
But the 16. Not great.
Yeah,
not
you
terrible.
get you kind of reach out with your mind's eye and you get this very shaky connection, and you send through the message, but it kind of like almost makes you dizzy and gives you this sense of vertigo. But after a few moments, you kind of feel back this presence of Zekra, like aware that you are talking to her.
Hello, Zekra. It is Busto.
Hello, Busto. This is new. Is everything? I didn't even know you were here. Is everything all right?
We cause havoc, but we need key. I tell everyone a Thun come and make them fight.
She says,
Literally just told them that the creators told like them to kill each other.
She says, wow, actually, that's not a bad idea. What do you need a key to?
Cells.
Cells. You could You could try and swipe it off a guard. They're carrying keys of their own.
I know very good with hand, and Orion obviously no good with hand.
She says you could wait until dinner when they're let out of their cells, I suppose.
Bitch.
She says we have a little bit of time. That actually might work well because a few of the people up here will head down for dinner anyway.
Okay, we wait.
Sorry.
She says, in the meantime, could you? I didn't know we had a third person to work with. Buster, can you cast anything that could break a chain?
Make it hot.
Yeah, well, I was about to ask. Because of its sheer weight, would it turning red hot cause it to break?
It's
Or
definitely
weaken.
worth the shot.
Or at least weaken.
Yeah, at least weaken it.
Definitely worth a shot.
So I would simply say,
I know like metal. I make metal hot.
She says, excellent. We could probably work with that. I think Orion can fill you in on what you'll have to do. Just make sure you have good timing. All right, dear.
What is timing?
I'll tell you when you're older.
Oh, good.
How old you?
No, she's the best.
You can tell she's sort of
Can you
stopped.
hang up this thing?
Like she's sort of
I know
disconnected
she's trying to
mentally.
hang up. It's her mind.
she just ended the Skype call.
You
She's
hear
like,
that
"Nope."
little Skype noise in your head. You're like,
Because I was just gonna try to flex on her on my many moons.
So do you have a plan, Busto?
We wait till dinner.
Okay.
Then I make chain hot.
Okay. Okay. So what do you think we should do in the meantime? We have 45 minutes. We could.
Find Wolfie.
Ooh, I didn't even think of that. Listen, wait.
I would have found that.
Shut up for a second.
I
You're not
was
here.
literally thinking.
For one thing, we could find Wolfie, sure. Do you know where he'd be? Or should we just find him at dinner? Supper.
yes, Arthur.
Wolfie's in the building.
He is in the building.
Telepathy.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeet.
Just
Yeah.
stands up.
Telepathy doesn't tell you where he is exactly. You could ask him.
Hello, Wolfie.
I don't. That's interesting. I don't know. I don't.
You have no idea.
Because
what
you
it is.
can't cast speak with animals, I don't know if he can respond.
telepathy is
telepathy-
just whatever language they
Yeah,
speak.
it's whatever the creature speaks.
But Wolfie's a wolf. He doesn't really speak a
We talked
language.
before.
With speak with animals.
Fuck.
No, that was.
He barks and
I used
howls.
animal handling on that one. Do you want me to roll animal handling?
Well, I'm. Okay.
It's like talking to a dragon.
I'm just curious how this would work. You're tapping into the mind of a wolf
It's just like talking to Scooby-Doo.
to speak to a guidance because you're a rat. This is so many layers. I'm like worried it's gonna come through. It's like a payphone thing where it's like the telephone game where you whisper into ears. It's gonna come back as some random message. It's gonna
Like
get
a lot
scrambled
of
on its way
letters.
through the astral plane or something. Yeah, no, but you can definitely reach out and you feel Wolfie's presence somewhere in the building.
Wolfie.
You don't get back words, but you get back sensations. A feeling of fear, confusion, and basically just a desire for you to come help. Loneliness.
He's like,
a little
"I'm
bit
getting
of loneliness.
tagged."
And a little bit of
I
desire
know
for
he's
bacon.
like, please.
It's
There was one of those guards dropped some bacon
Wolfie. Are you gang member?
and I thought you said Wolfie, are you gay?
That's
Yeah,
what
me
we
too.
thought.
Fuck's sake.
That's the worst time to ask.
They have
No,
this connection.
you get back this you actually
You kill
like the
yourself
return.
aside.
The return is actually like almost this inflow of memories of Wolfie's perception of the last couple days of being brought to the prison with you, of you disappearing, of Wolfie seeing the message you left behind, and then he was brought around by the guards for a while before being brought up to some like sequestered room on the top floor.
It's animal abuse.
Animal abuse. And then I would simply message to him, "Okay, Wolfie, I come."
You get back basically just an impression of excitement and joy. Relief. That's the word I was looking for.
That's so sweet.
Orion,
What?
stairs.
Okay.
Where stairs go?
Where-
I find Wolfie
Is he upstairs or downstairs?
upstairs.
Like I said, we need a necklace for that.
Oh, you're on the second floor.
Oh, fuck. No, that wouldn't work.
What about waiting for dinner? Wouldn't he come down for dinner?
Going back to Wolfie. They feed you?
Again, you get this set of memories. You actually see he's in. You get a much clearer impression of the room this time. It's a office of some kind, and there is another man wearing one of the. I think the guards are just NPF soldiers, right?
Yeah.
He's got that uniform, but it is emblazoned to look. He's much higher ranking than everyone else. You get the sensation that he might be in charge around here. But the room he's in doesn't have a door. Wolfie has seen this a few times. When he comes and goes, he just teleports through the walls. He has another one of those stones. It's a red one instead of a blue one. It seems to be keyed to him to allow him in and out of the room.
Okay. What is this dude like? Can I picture this dude because Wolfie's seen him through the memory?
Yeah, he's a pretty average looking. He's got this close cut blonde hair, and human looking features. Maybe it looks like maybe his grandparents were half orcs, and he just sort of has the like residual effect. That very strong jawline, and like maybe a little bit. His teeth look a little bit bigger than most.
So
I'm gonna simply try to do one thing.
Sure.
I'm gonna call this dude on Skype. I'm gonna try to picture him.
Boom.
Yeah.
I can't fucking do it.
I'm calling him. I'm
Sure.
trying to connect him.
Man, I'm gonna need you to roll wisdom for that. That's a bit of a.
That's a stretch.
That one's difficult. You don't know this dude. You don't even know his name.
20.
Yeah. Okay.
You know his name now.
Yeah. You sort of like send out a few feelers upward, and then you feel a mind that its image of itself matches what you're looking for, basically.
That's a good mind.
Hello.
You get a very rapid fire sensation of surprise, concern, and then anger.
Why are you mad,
Um,
bro? Sorry.
a voice comes back and says,
He gets even angrier.
a voice comes back and goes, "Who are you?"
I want to go for the Aethud thing.
So
I am the owner of the dog.
After there seems to be a second pause, and then he doesn't respond to you, but you can kind of because you're sort of in his head, you can kind of sense that he is shouting in like the real world, and you pick up the sensation of these words that basically sums up to, "Who brought in a damn telepath?" And then a couple of seconds later, it's like your telepathy just hits a brick wall. He just it's gone.
Wasted that bridge. Wait, just to them or to like me too?
What do you mean?
Like his telepathy you said is gone, right?
You don't notice anything.
Okay.
Oh. Can I try to connect with Wolfie to see what?
Yeah. You reach out again and you feel Wolfie just fine. But Wolfie seems very concerned now.
Okay. Okay. Then I'm going at this point. I can't get to where he is.
No.
I don't know where he is.
No.
And I can't talk to the guy.
No.
Nope.
So
I'm just saying. You got into the mind of the prison warden.
Yeah. I
He
figured.
didn't like it.
That's a bit concerning, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm just saying.
Yep. No, that's fair.
How's
I
it going up there?
And mind blank is a pretty common spell.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to simply try to wait out the next hour.
All right.
Oh wait.
I'm gonna try to find somewhere very secluded, and just wait it out, so I can try to gain.
You know you are sitting on his head. You
Yeah.
don't really have much say.
He's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I know he pulls
So what
my
are we
hair.
doing? Are we gonna go get weapons, or are we gonna recruit more people?
My magic is depleting. I need to eat and rest.
Okay. You rest. I'll go look at the. I would assume the armory's downstairs.
They don't really have like an armory.
Do they have a spot where they keep their weapons?
Yeah, there's that spot behind where they had all the cubbies. You were Cal was in it
I
before.
wasn't there.
It's where the receptionist went.
Would I know
I don't
that?
think you'd know
Like,
about
there's not
it.
like a map of like a.
They don't have a
They
directory.
probably have a map. You don't have a map of the
No, I
prison.
mean like
You are
there are
here.
places,
Yeah.
for instance, in a school where they would have like the floor plans of the school and like every room listed. Do they have that for the jail, like the prison?
Not just like out on the walls.
Like shows a
They
bunch of
might
exits.
have one in like an office or something.
Pretty good.
I'll go back down. I'll go downstairs.
Okay.
I'm
Back
gonna
to the
just.
first floor.
I'm
Yes.
basically as soon as I see a bathroom, or let me rephrase that.
Orion,
A potty.
if you see bathroom, let me leave.
You wouldn't be invisible anymore.
Yeah, I'm a fucking rat, bro.
Okay.
Those are pretty goddamn common.
Not ones without a head.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
The prison cells have chamber pots, but they dump them into this big pipeline that goes under the prison and out of the loft. You could head down towards that. It's
How
on
tall is the
first
pipeline?
floor. What?
How tall is the pipeline? Not tall.
What do you mean?
It's not like a big fuck off.
No, it's just a
like-
hole in the floor,
okay.
dude.
Okay.
No height to it.
I'm probably.
It's back where there's like this space behind the cafeteria where the stairs are. It's back there with
We've just gotten downstairs, I'm assuming.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go there then.
Sure.
leave
And
it
I'm
there?
gonna try to take a short rest.
All right. So you're waiting out the hour,
Yes.
and we will see what happens at the end of that hour right after this break.
Hey.
So we'll be back in 10 minutes. Hold on, we'll be right back.
Promise.
See you in 10 minutes.
Bye, guys. See you soon.
We'll be on a break.
Bye.
Be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We had a good break, as always. It's the best part of the stream.
That's not true.
God.
My favorite part of the stream.
That's just mean.
Dick.
When we left off, Orion and Busto were waiting for dinner to come around, and when we return, you have just begun to see the first few prisoners trickle into the cafeteria and find their seats. They look on edge. They look kind of jumpy and concerned, apprehensive, maybe.
Makes sense.
And you see some of the guards are picking up on this and kind of like almost trying to look more imposing than they actually are.
Okay.
What do you do?
So I have one question.
Yes, I have
That-
one answer.
That is considered a short rest, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that means I do have my wild shapes back.
Even though you're still.
No, I would have went out. I had to because it's.
So we're not together.
Nope, he's in the toilet.
Yes. I am exactly in the toilet, and I'm happy.
And I'm at the bottom. Where?
I don't know. Where were you?
I went to the bottom of the stairs and I was gonna check out try to find the weapon place.
Oh, so I'd say in the hour leading up to it, you've wandered around and you've actually found the little. How long does invisibility last, by the way?
1 hour.
1 hour.
Oh shoot, I don't know
so
that.
no, you have a little. You probably have about 20 minutes left.
Okay.
Right now. You found that little cubby area that Cal was in last time, and a few. You have like 2 spears and a shield, of the guards'
Floating.
equipment.
They're floating, right?
Yeah, we
His
assume so.
No, his equipment technically emerges, if
Is-
that's considered his equipment.
Can I have that? No, because I have my hand axes and my stuff. So that I will keep my equipment.
Yeah.
If you can't carry
but
more,
if-
then you can't do
If
it.
you're carrying it, then you're fine.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, you should be fine. It,
Alright.
it extends the things on you.
Can I turn off invisibility whenever I want, or can that only be him?
I believe he can. I believe.
I defer to him.
I'm gonna check real quick.
Okay, while you're checking.
A creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible as long as it is on the target's person. The spell ends for a target that attacks or casts the spell.
Yeah. So if you just like, I guess it's you could, yeah.
Your discretion, just.
Since it is dispelled when you attack, I'd say you also would then be able to dispel it yourself.
Just by attacking air.
So I'm gonna make my way towards the cafeteria as people,
Mhm.
as supper is about to
Sure.
go.
I think because of the amount you're carrying, I'm gonna need you to roll stealth for me.
Mike.
Depression.
There are a lot of people around, but you're not coming
With
from the same
advance,
direction.
because it's still invisible.
It's not dealing with sight. This is sound.
I'm small.
No, it doesn't matter, bro.
I don't think the sound gets smaller. Was that a nat 1
Yes.
again?
It hit my
Jesus.
computer
That's
too.
the only thing you can roll.
What the
What?
fuck?
That's not true. All my other rolls have been
Remember-
over like 15.
Remember
But
when
only the nat ones are the
you
ones that are
used
important.
his dice? Remember
I
that?
did.
Oh.
I think I did curse his dice.
I said it was gonna happen.
You're fucking the Will Wheaton.
Maybe I shouldn't be allowed to touch any of your dice.
It's not too late to say it is
the Will
advantage.
Wheaton of
Well,
dice.
I would say right around when people start
Oh, you
finishing
can
sitting
get
down.
Trevor
Everything.
rolls.
Yeah, you, I guess clip one of the spears on the corner of a doorway and drop the whole set of things, and they clatter to the floor and become visible. What do you do?
How far
You yeet
far
the
is the closest guard?
Maybe 5 feet from you.
5 feet?
You're
That's
right
it?
by the door, dude.
You fucked up, is what he's saying.
I understand that, Busto.
Fucked up
Um,
bad.
Okay. But now I can move silently again, right?
You're gonna try to yeet the fuck out of there.
You can roll stealth again.
I thought I'm silent again. I got nothing to carry.
If you have to get out of there in a hurry, I'm gonna need you to roll stealth.
Advance, well, no, because that means
Just
still.
roll stealth if you want to book it. Busta, would you have seen this happen?
I would have
Probably heard it.
Yeah, I probably would have heard
Yeah.
it.
You see, and actually, Ryan, you see that a bunch of the people when this happened like startle like excessively.
Wait,
okay,
I have
can
a different idea. Wait. The marbles. Can I light it up and like throw it somewhere, and still have
Sure.
it light up after it's left my like?
The light
area?
will last for another couple seconds after you.
That's
throw
all
it.
I need. I'm gonna take one marble, blow on it, and like throw it into the cafeteria,
Okay.
trying to divert their attention.
I mean, it is a flying glowing marble.
Can I do something?
Sure, Busta.
Okay, I would have heard this. Would I've heard yelling from the guards?
It's kind of a one of those like moments of silence where it's like, oh shit.
So
No one has reacted yet.
Okay. Can I probably would have heard this and instantly turned into a cranium rat.
Okay.
What the fuck did you do?
And just from like a little corner, I would try to picture the dragonborn lady in my head.
Yep.
And simply tell her,
Athun commands you now.
what the fuck was that voice?
I don't know. That wasn't the voice you
yep.
did before.
Yeah. Athun commands you now.
And tell her just to stand up.
Yeah. In the cafeteria, I'd say, Orion, you throw this marble, and you see everyone kind of looks at it, and while everyone's looking up, that dragonborn woman jumps up and flips one of the tables up into the air.
And can I just tell her also to simply say, now the riot, now the riot has started.
Told me that.
Yeah,
I
no,
told her that.
No, I know how this goes down. In the cafeteria, this dragonborn woman flips the table, stands up like this, and just goes, "It's popping off!" and then kicks the table towards one of the guards, and you see half around the room, like a good 2/3 of the people
as
start
they're
just jumping up and like.
Obviously, the
Yeah.
guards are going to be preoccupied. In that moment of confusion, can I jump up and like rip off one of their necklaces?
Yeah, sure. Make a do sleight of hand for me.
Oh, God.
More just to see. This is less to see if you can do it sneakily, and more just to see how well you
That's fine.
grab it.
Okay.
17.
That's
Yeah,
acceptable.
you book it forward instead of running
You
away,
remember those
and one of
ones.
those guards that was kind of looking down at all of the spears and shields, or the 2 spears and a shield, you just jump up and grab his pendant and pull it from his neck.
Can I telepathically talk to Zekra?
Sure.
It's going a lot better
Hello.
than 2 days ago, yesterday.
Hello.
Busto.
It is starting.
Yeah. If you guys make your way up here, we can get on with the second part.
Okay. I'm gonna call the Nate.
Orion.
Nate.
Orion.
Not fuck Nate.
Hey, no. Orion. Come to me.
I would. Where are you?
Bathroom.
Where's? Would I know where that is? He jumped
You
off
dropped
me.
him off there.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know if you ran away.
You can
from
find your you can yeah. I'd say you kind of you run forward and vault over that little counter into behind the cafeteria, and go back to meet Busto.
I have about 15 minutes left of invisibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just going to like run up to him and then like jump a little, so you can catch me.
Because you're a little
Oh,
rat.
in my
that's
hat?
Oh yeah, he's a rat.
Can I catch him in my hat?
Scoop him out of the air
Him, yeah.
That's awesome. Put him back on my head.
and book it up the stairs.
I'm running
Um,
as guards probably are coming down.
guards are actually heading the other direction, down towards the cafeteria,
Yeah, that's
past
what I mean.
you. And you make it up the stairs and run back down the hall to one of those little runic circles, and your pendant starts to light up, and you just do that, and suddenly you're in a very similar hallway. It's about the same dimensions, but this one isn't filled with cells. It's filled with like some supplies. There's a few people milling around, but on each wall you can actually see it's much more open, so you can kind of see down the halls around you, and you can see in the center of the hallway there's this big slit in the wall where a few people are looking out. One of them has a hand outstretched and seems to be chanting and casting something, and the other two are just standing by with crossbows.
No Zekra.
Can I try to roll perhaps Arcana to see what that is?
Sure.
Arcana's intelligence. Just realized that.
Yeah.
Oh, have fun.
Let's go.
Wait, can I roll it too?
Good luck.
Yeah, sure. I don't know why that took me so long to figure out what you were saying.
How bad?
What'd you get?
Probably worse.
Is it that one?
7.
7.
Okay, that's not terrible. 13.
13.
Fine.
Oh man, guys. Oh, there's a lot of spells. Like,
A lot of spells. No
Um,
worries.
it looks
Looks like magic.
like some sort of a utility spell. It's no combat or anything.
Okay.
It is causing an effect. This probably has consequences.
Yes. Okay, Zekra.
Yeah. You actually you go to contact her, but from the kind of the shadows and near this equipment behind you, a hand reaches out and it grabs you by the shoulder and kind of pulls you back. And she's kind of crouching there in the shadows, and she
Wait,
whispers.
wait. Would she be able to do that?
In the
Can't see me.
That's a good point. No, yeah, that doesn't happen. I forgot you were invisible.
So, Zekra.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Your response, and she says, I'm in the back of one of the hallways near right near where we came in. I'm looking at the people working.
Nate, look around.
Orion.
Orion.
Fuck. Orion, look around.
Some people do.
Roll perception.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I get to roll.
For the first time.
I swear to
Wait,
fucking God.
I'm proficient 9.
Your life's a fucking failure.
Oh my god. 9.
No, you don't notice anything.
I don't see anything.
Dude, she has good stealth. She has
Fuck.
good stealth.
Can I try to smell her?
I know.
Oh
my
rat.
Yeah, sure. Roll perception. Go
Okay.
ahead.
That's really
Roll
So
against me again.
That's +7, and I have advantage because it's a smell, and I'm a rat.
And you're inside a hat. So.
Wait, would
disadvantage.
rat? Did he just
No
get
advantage.
Yeah. Okay.
Just cut off the advantage. Just roll against me.
That's good enough.
So
Yeah, no,
hold
it's
on.
good
So
enough.
that's 23.
Versus 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
Try
14,
to roll.
34.
I literally just choked, bro.
Dude, she has good fucking stealth, and I rolled a 19.
Oh my god!
Holy
She's the best.
shit.
Hey,
Muy stealthy.
So mean. She's
Anyway.
stealthy.
Anyway, I don't fucking see you.
That was plus 17.
Yeah.
She's a
She's
rogue.
the
She's a
best. She's
high level rogue.
She's a bit of a beast.
She really is.
There's a certain point in the game where players go from being like, I'm gonna try to do this to I'm gonna do this.
And she's
Yeah.
past that point.
So I'm just gonna simply go. What do you see?
And she says, okay, if you we can work together here. I'll if you go around the corner here to the next people, can you tell Orion left? I'm not sure how good your sense of direction is, but he should know what I mean.
By the left.
Your dog is he's in the warden's office. We can't if we try and break our way into there right now, he's gonna call down pretty much the whole militia on us. But if you trigger the breakout with this big breakout first, he will be out of the office and you can just bust down one of the walls to get into it. So if you go over by one of the other groups, the one to the left, tell him left. Busto, can you repeat back to me left?
Right. No, left.
Good enough. Go left. Be ready on my signal. Just
What is your signal?
when they all start running away.
Okay. Orion.
Yes.
Left.
What's on the left?
Go left. Go left.
Okay.
Secret say go left.
Am I looking for anything?
Go left.
I'll go left.
Busto no remember what you
Oh,
what.
jeez.
Busto only remember go left.
I go left.
All right.
I don't know that I'm waiting for a signal.
But before her signal comes, transitions. Cal and Nick, you are still in the. You are listening to Miss Delana tell a story. She is in the middle of this dais, and she has just lit up these chandeliers, causing the mural to shift into black. But after a second, a shape emerges from the darkness, and it is a massive mural representation of a Thun, this glowing white silhouette with a hint of gold. And Miss Delana accompanies this with the basic story of creation. She describes how a Thun brought forth an island, and you can see this reflected on the mural. And then it lights up all around, and all the glass turns into this shade of yellow. But across from it, in the exact opposite of the figure of a Thun, the glass darkens into a black shape, and you see basically the whole story. A Thun, with the help of his children, strike him down, and that's the point where she brings you to. She's sort of been like almost like conducting this with that still glowing right hand, and she says, "So you know the story, the fall of the shadow, the righteous battle. But there's more. The story doesn't end there." And in the background, you begin to hear the sound of a sad organ playing. One of the priests has begun to strike up a melody of some kind. And Miss Delana says, "A Thun's strike was righteous, True, and his shadow fell, and you see this reflected on the mural. This just band of light strikes the shadow through the chest, and it starts to tip backwards, and all the other figures sort of vanish as this shadow almost looks like it's this is following silhouette on the mural above you. And Miss Delena continues, and through the combined might of our king and his children, its state of death was permanently solidified. And on the mural above you, there's this just, and you almost can smell the ocean around you as all the murals go blue, and that figure begins to drift down before settling at the bottom of the sea. And back in the prison, you guys have kind of camped out to the side. You didn't really know what you were doing. Keep it going. Back in the prison, you've kind of camped near the side, a little ways away from that little group, and you wait a few moments. You're not really sure what you're supposed to do, because, I mean, you didn't get the message from Zekra.
I didn't get the message,
but
he doesn't remember.
But after a few moments, there's this cacophonous bang from down the hall, and then you can like kind of see the flickering of light and the heat of a fire that has started a little ways away from you. And some of the people start looking around, and the people carrying crossbows run down the hall away, leaving this one lone mage kind of still trying to focus but looking away, and you can see his spell kind of falters a little bit too.
Buster, what do we do?
Buster wouldn't do that. That what Arthur would do. Buster wouldn't do that. I think that's the signal.
The signal to do what?
Zekra.
What about Zekra? I'm not understanding.
Zekra, and I'm trying to message to her.
Yeah, you reach over and you hear, and you attach yourself back to Zekra's mind, and she says, "Go now, Busto. You need to break the chain as soon as you can."
Oh. Okay. And I'm going to hop out of the hat. Turn into. I'm not gonna turn into Crusto. I'm gonna turn into Busto.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be so nervous.
And I'm just going to simply heat metal on one of the chains.
There's a dude in the way.
There's a
There's a mage.
there.
He's casting out the window.
He's definitely looking at you, probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he notices you when you polymorph back into Busto, and he's kind of he looks around. He doesn't. It looks like he doesn't know what to do. It looks like he wants to do something to you, but he can't stop with.
Oh,
this.
concentration. Sling.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Just throws a rock at him.
Fuck. Shit.
I'm so don't know what to do right now.
Yeah, you're just I mean, you're just like you see Busto just move.
Whoa.
Okay. So that is a ranged attack. I'm gonna try to hit. This 21 hit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's a
little
wizard,
mage.
I know, but so gotta roll that D4 plus 2.
Kills him.
4 total.
4. Yeah, no, you just boom, right in his hand. He kind of staggers back, and that spell just. And actually, you see out the window, the cube kind of sags on one end, and that chain it just pulls tight. And you actually hear this creaking sound coming from the rivet attached to the building.
Okay. What looks like all the weight is being suspended on?
It's bolted into the side of the wall here.
Okay.
But now that the levitation spell has ceased, it is bearing the full brunt of this room and its occupant, and it is starting to pull at the side.
I'm gonna simply call to Orion, deal them, and I'm gonna cast heat metal on a bolt.
Yep. And back in the temple, Miss Delena continues, and she says, and she continues narrating over this image of a corpse discarded at the bottom of the ocean. And she says, as a final act of shame, the corpse was denied a proper funeral and cast into the sea. And she sort of gestures around to show you the scene before you. And she says, but at the bottom of the sea, the bottom of this dark, ocean. The shade still thought. Though its soul was destroyed, its mortal coil shrugged off. So great was its power that even after death, its hunger for destruction still burned. And back in the prison, as you begin heating metal, you see Zikra leaning out the window next to yours and beginning to cast something. And you actually see after a second the other chain sags and the whole thing kind of and actually pulls out of the wall a little. And then Zikra begins trying to do something to the chain on her end. But on your side, you've begun to heat this nail, and it's actually starting to bend on one side of the rivet.
Could I just does it look like if you just hit it, it'd break?
Yeah, it's getting pretty weak.
Can I just hit it with my axe?
Sure, reaching out the window. Yeah, go ahead and roll to hit it.
Just roll to hit.
Oh, I want to interrupt her so bad. But she's telling this cool ass story. I'm gonna be like a fucking.
She's gonna say no.
Excuse me. Oh my god.
Wait, I have +6, so 8? It's just a chain.
Yeah. Yeah, so you just sort of swing your axe down and it hits the rivet, and then that chain kind of buckles and then away from the wall, and the whole thing just, and you can see the other chains start to bend away too, and Zikra kind of panic continues and then just goes, and this almost like a magic missile, these two just planes of force just, and the top of the chain just away, and then it sags for a second, and there's a moment of silence as it swings down towards the wall. But back in the temple,
I'm shaking.
Miss Delena continues, and you watch this tableau on the stained glass, as you can see just this passage of time. You can see this shift around, almost this shimmer, as the sands build up around this corpse, and as it just turns a sickly shade of gray. And she says, as the aeons ticked by, submerged in the murky depths of the world sea, alone in the deepest point of the ocean, the shadows, despair, and rage began to trickle into the minds of the living. And the mural shifts into this full view of a city square. It's incredibly detailed, and you can see just people milling around. It almost feels like you're in the middle of it yourself. But one figure isn't moving like the rest. It has come to a complete halt, and you can see it sort of looking up at the sky, and then looking down at its hands. And then it spreads out its arms, and around it, all the people in the square drop to the ground, still. And back in the prison, the two chains that were left supporting it as it swung break, and you see this room careen through the air into the side of the prison, kind of near the cafeteria, and it collides through the wall, embedding itself into the ground. And there's a moment of just confusion. You don't know what's supposed to happen next, and then the glyphs still present on the cell activate, and there's this massive explosion that actually shakes you back from the window and just devastates that side of the prison. You can see the whole upper floor collapses down below it. And back in the temple, Miss Delena continues, and she continues, and this scene, it's now just this rapid fire of different moments, almost blending together into one big scene around you on the mural. And she says, since then, some have been brought to its side and turned their backs on our world. Over the years, they have made many attempts to divert the natural order and return their broken deity to the world of the living. She says there's been explorers into the ocean to try and find his resting place. There's been dark blood rituals, and you can see this just crimson red beginning to take on all of the mural. And she says, and there's been mass scale unwilling sacrifice. She says, what started as a cult has grown over the years. It has become a church of its own. They call themselves the Church of the Dead God. And if they get their way, there won't even be people left to mourn. And back in the prison, that explosion halts almost at its apex, and you can see it straining like it should be continuing, it should be going away, but then it begins collapsing back down towards the point of where that room collided, and you hear this guttural haunting laugh. Just a solid,
I just put everything together.
just a deep, and it coalesces into one point, and you can see this figure, this almost shadow cast upon the world. It draws the light around it, and it's tall. It wears this massive black coat with gold trim, almost an inverse of what the priests wear. And above its head, it's concentrating into its fist this just burning point of light, which illuminates its visage. And it wears bandages. Its whole head is wrapped in bandages from crown to neck. But jutting from the sides, the back, and the front are these 3 massive antlers. And then it coalesces that fire into one point, and it brings back its arm and just across. And this beam of fiery light just vivisects through the other side of the prison. And then an explosion follows where that beam passes, and the whole side of the prison where you are on, where Wolfie is, where everyone is standing, collapses down to the courtyard around it.
Do we hear this?
I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's
a
question
question.
number 1.
Fuck.
Yes! My miniature. I can put it on.
Sure.
Question number 1 is fuck. Question number 2 is screw you. Question number 3.
Just show him.
Okay, we're gonna show it to the camera for all you. Up a little bit. Up to the GM. There you go. Yeah, that's it.
Unfocused, but
Unfocused. Okay.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll post a picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll post a picture on
That's-
Twitter.
yeah, it's fair.
Anyway,
Yeah.
god damn it.
You need to both make a dexterity saving throw for me.
As we're falling, can I turn into a polar bear?
Sure. Make the saving throw. We'll make the dex one first.
Yeah.
Make the polar bear one too.
Do we hear anything?
We'll get to you in a second.
Dex. Dex is 10.
Okay.
This is the I just want to say right now, this is the climax of like all 7 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's kind of convenient considering it's the climax. Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Oh,
Hell
There
yeah.
we go.
Fuck yeah, let's-
Nate, you take 2 points of falling damage.
I take more than that.
What'd you roll for your saving
Less
throw
than
for the
10.
polar bear?
Less than
shit.
10. So I have to do the
Yeah.
fail thing.
Oof. Did I take any damage?
Nope. You kind of jump away from the rubble and land in the courtyard. Wait.
I'm slightly annoyed now.
I'm almost dead now.
I got you.
That's what I'm at.
That is low.
Oh, wait. Yeah, because I had to take 5 because of the polar bear thing.
Can I 1v1 it?
If you think you can.
1v1 me, bro.
I don't think I can.
Oh, I forgot. I need to make another dex saving throw.
That one.
I need to make 2 dex saving throws.
Wolfie.
Wolfie dies.
I will actually get up and leave. I'm just so DG.
He made it!
Thank God.
He does
he's
take
okay.
damage though.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm sorry. You're not
He's
getting
hurt.
healed.
Yeah. So you careen.
Don't give a fuck about
so
your
you
HP.
careen down into the courtyard and but with a nat 20, you land pretty much on your feet. And you look around and see Nate falling through the air, and then
Ryan.
he shifts into a polar bear, but he seems like faded at the edges when he shifts, and you can kind of see he reacts and then just right into the ground and stays still. But across the courtyard, you almost feel this compulsion to look, and you see Wolfie also just tumble out and into the courtyard down across from you. But this figure, striding out from the rubble now, has sort of just walked into the sunlight, and you can see it just sort of put out its arms like this
Do we see
and looked
Zeke?
up towards the sun.
I have a question. Considering my extensive knowledge of religion and things like that, would I recognize this figure?
You actually recognize this figure for a completely different reason.
Oh,
Can you roll perception for me real quick?
sure.
19.
19. As it walks, the grass and like plant life around it just withers and dies.
Is it do I recognize it for maybe another reason? Maybe?
You tell me.
I think I do, Trevor.
I think you do too.
I think I do.
Fuck your storyline. Fuck.
I'm not very happy.
I know exactly.
Cal, Nick,
I'm not happy at all.
right
now.
as Delana finishes this story, you hear an echoing boom come from fairly close to you, because Temple Heights is pretty close
It's
to
like right next door.
It's literally
the prison. And Miss Delana actually stops and looks around, and she looks like unnaturally scared, and she says, "Something's wrong."
I'm gonna look at her. Who's in the box in Temple Heights?
She says, "You don't think seriously?"
Tell us right now.
She says, It's one of the people I told you about. A priest."
It's your girlfriend's fucked some shit up, and I'm just gonna run out the. I'm like gonna get up and just run out the door
All right.
towards the prison.
This is gonna be badass.
And follow
Sure.
as I always do.
Yeah, so you guys are running back towards Temple Heights.
I would do.
Busto and Ryan, what do you do?
Can we see Zekra?
Yeah, she's also kind of she's not hurt, but she kind of lands and like looks around, sees this, and starts trying like
How
backing
far is
up
he?
back towards the prison.
I want to do two things.
So he's about 60 feet away.
I want to do three things.
He's right across the courtyard from you. Sure.
So I would like to ready my sling, pull it out
Mm-hmm.
in one hand, run past, touch Orion,
Thank you.
cast. Because he's a piece of shit.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry.
God, you need a healing, you bitch.
I do.
Anyway, cast Cure Wounds.
Thank you.
So a D8 plus 5.
Go ahead and roll that.
Do you have a D8?
Yeah.
I swear to God, if your D8 fucks me over, mate.
I don't care.
Okay,
Not
9.
terrible.
9.
Thank you. It's almost enough to put me all the way.
And then I'm gonna try to run straight towards. Actually, that's too many things, isn't it? Are we in combat or?
We haven't rolled initiative.
You wanna be in
We haven't
combat?
rolled initiative. Don't screw this up.
I get to
I'm
do
not-
combat, but I'm gonna fucking die.
I'm gonna control myself. Busto's gonna control himself because he's a wise motherfucker.
Alright, can I just say one? I'm gonna die. I have 2 HP. Fucking heal me, please. And I have no spell slots.
I had 3.
Would this be a short rest? Just watching this show?
It's not a show.
Wait. Is that true? They had a fucking hour.
He did.
Were you resting while
We
you were
were
listening to the
sitting-
story and
literally
getting assaulted by a corpse?
We were sitting in that place listening to the story for the whole time.
Please.
All right. I'll give you a short rest.
Yes.
You can use a hit dice if you want to recover.
Is it? Are you still going?
Yeah, and then can I try to sprint to Wolfie?
To Wolfie. Yeah, I mean, you're not in combat. You can head over where Wolfie is.
I have 2 last questions.
Sure.
A, can I cast Cure Wounds on Wolfie? Or how hurt does he look?
Wolfie looks injured, but not, like, fatally so.
Mostly dazed.
Mostly dazed. Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly just dazed from the fall.
Okay. Then I'm still gonna cast it because he's my boy. Then I have one last question.
Sure.
This Orion, we may have like low-key fucked up.
Yep. Zekra, that dumb pink.
We did what we were told.
She's not. She
Yes,
didn't
but here's the
know.
problem. That might have repercussions.
I see that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More along the lines of us getting killed or
I
executed.
can see that
Yeah.
as well.
Because
I
that
can
could be a
foresee- I
possibility.
can foresee this.
Yeah, I can foresee that as well.
So can I? What are you gonna do?
I'm going to cast Healing Word on Wolfie.
Okay.
Waste your spell slots.
I have one more. I can heal
Don't
him.
wait. You could have 2 more.
I could, but I fuck that, Wolfie.
Who's just dazed?
Wolfie's hurt, man. I can't let him. 6.
You got a 1.
Yeah,
6.
Wolfie recovers
Completely.
6 HP.
mostly, for the most part.
wow.
You see, you kind of cast this and you see some of the bigger cuts and nicks close themselves up, but
Okay.
Wolfie still looks kind of beaten.
Okay, I'm gonna pick him up
Mm-hmm.
and should I roll a wisdom saving throw?
For what?
Either not get frightened, not want to beat the actual living shit out of that guy, and basically any emotions I'm having.
To calm emotion? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, because
While he's doing that,
you guys have no idea.
would Orion know what this is?
I mean, sure, he hasn't been around civilization too much, at least for a few years, maybe even a decade or two. But he does have a lot of experience, obviously, with death.
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception for me then. Or insight, actually.
Insight?
18.
What?
18.
19.
19. You don't recognize it at all,
At 19?
but it feels similar. You feel
Do I
as
feel
though,
death?
yeah, that feeling of emptiness and death that surrounds it feels like something you've hunted before.
I know. I have one last thing that I want to do.
Sure.
You know all the fucking the grass and shit that's dying around this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cast Druidcraft and try to regrow that shit. Cause fuck this dude.
Oh my god.
Fuck you.
We're not within 30 feet of it.
Spell slot? Nah.
Druidcraft is cantrip.
Oh.
Yeah, but you're not within 30 feet of it, it doesn't look like.
Fuck you. I'm running 30 feet of it. Fuck this guy.
Dude, our only healer. Come on.
As you start running towards him,
I don't think you
he-
understand.
It kind of like stops. It breaks out of its reverie and it looks towards you and it doesn't do anything, but it puts out a hand like this. What do you do?
Could it hear me from way back there?
I mean, you could yell.
I'm gonna put my hand up.
Do you stop running towards him?
Yep.
Sure.
And what? How close am I roughly? 25 feet.
25-ish?
Okay. Can I start trying to, like, with Druidcraft, grow some of the grass around me and kind of, like, not Harry Potter style, but Harry Potter style? Like, just increase, like, in the straight line that him and I are looking towards, just increase the grass and, like, grow the grass as we're kind of looking at each other.
Interesting.
Make a charisma saving throw.
How tall is
That's the first time I've had to do that. Fuck me, okay.
With the horns, he's maybe a few inches taller than you, Busto.
This is a tall motherfucker.
with the horns?
Holy crap!
He's probably a bit shorter than you, but the horns go another like foot and a half above.
14.
14? No. As you start to cast magic near him,
No.
he flicks his hand, and Orion, Busto vanishes.
Like, just disappears, goes into the ground, rises up.
There's like a
what?
slight
Wolfie?
distortion around him, but he just
As for Wolfie,
Wolfie's still there.
Wolfie's in my.
can I
Oh, Wolfie's
yell?
gone too.
Okay.
Can I yell? Like,
Or-
obviously in a deeper voice.
No, Wolfie just kind of onto the ground where you
Ah!
were.
God damn it!
Can I
just
yell?
touched it.
What are you? I wouldn't. Yeah. Can I just yell that?
Yeah. It doesn't respond.
Does it even look?
It doesn't even seem to acknowledge your presence.
Can I start not running, but a little faster than walking? Like between jogging and walking, like fast walk towards it. Not super close, but like probably staying within 40 feet away.
You just saw this motherfucker.
Sure.
I know.
Um,
You were
and-
closer than 40 feet.
Nick and Cal,
You messed with it.
right around now you would arrive near the edge of the Temple Heights courtyard. And you see this. You see this figure standing at one end of the courtyard, and Wolfie sort of confused, like half sitting, half lying in the dirt near him.
Do I know about this thing at all? Except for what I was just told?
You don't have any experience with it.
I'll squeeze my arm.
I'm gonna run up right next to Orion and like put my hand on his shoulder like a buddy.
Sure. Nick?
I'm a polar bear.
You are?
Yeah.
Can
Okay.
okay, like, before he does that, can I try to grab him and stop him?
Sure.
I'm not.
Me?
Yeah.
Just from touching me?
No, from going fucking closer to that
You're
thing. That's
just
gonna
barely gonna
kill
touch my
him.
ass and she's gonna bring over.
What?
Nick,
Does she have to make a throw first?
could you actually make a wisdom saving throw for me first?
Ooh, what is. I don't have great.
Going this together, buddy. If you can.
18.
18.
Together
Yeah.
if you can.
You feel the single most acute sense of dread and deja vu you have ever experienced.
I've been in
But
this place before.
as Cal is running, you sort of fight through the fog and grab at his
Can I-
wrist.
Like, swat her away and run up to my friend?
Yeah, you can.
Dex competition.
What would it be? Strength or dex?
Yeah, you could do a dex
Dex
contest for
probably,
me.
yeah.
Nick's like,
I'm gonna do strength.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
Because if she already has
Yeah, no,
you-
that's fair.
my first roll of the game, guys.
wow.
Pretty good.
That one's
17.
Well,
18.
yeah. That beats me.
I feel so much happier. I haven't seen you since we stormed off, right?
No, right?
Yeah. I go, wait, Cal, he's gonna kill you.
Don't say
Just gonna keep her.
Up to me.
Yeah, you come up.
Gonna put his hand just like this around
Actually,
me.
no. I'm gonna turn around and be like,
Flip her off.
maybe. I don't want to keep her.
Yes! I'm loving Cal right now.
Jeez. Yeah, no, you. Yeah, you come up next to Orion,
I'll look
leaving
at you.
Nick back at the entrance to the courtyard.
You're a polar bear though, so it's like
Achilles.
just.
Wait, is it us or Nick?
Can I whistle to Wolfie? Like, and get him over towards me?
Sure.
I can't whistle in real life.
Yeah.
So-
No, I'll trust you doing it.
I could just go.
Right as you start to motion Wolfie over towards you, the figure in the figure over there, it brings its hands together near its chest, sort of in a motion like this, and it feels like the air, almost like a vacuum, begins pulling in towards it, and this, like, almost erosion of reality starts to just fade around it, and that death around it starts to just, like, almost like a virus starts spreading through things, and he appears to be preparing something.
Can you tell me right now, is he undead?
Yes.
He
Wait,
is.
do you have the you have the ability to sense that? You
would
you hunt
assume
undead. It's a fair guess. Based on also like I mean,
have-
you wouldn't know this, but like based on what Cal heard, he would probably guess this.
I would have advantages on things with undead anyway, so I would assume that I'd be able to tell.
For the first time, I can probably tell too, right? For the first time.
in forever.
I mean, you can. I mean, if
Assume.
you want to roll, you heard them talk. The prisoners talking about how whatever in there was dead.
Stop it.
I'm gonna take my trident and turn it around and jam it into the ground and cast Turn Undead. And wait,
What?
Out of spell slots.
I have to reach him.
Oh.
It's a no bueno idea, mate.
Don't do it. I just kind of sensing that Cal's thinking of something. Can I just put my arm in
Wait,
front
no,
of him?
that's not right. What?
Can I put my arm in
Okay.
front of him?
Hold on.
No, I'm putting my arm in front
It
of
said range/area, reach, and now it says each undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet. Actually, so he's not within 30 feet of me.
you. No. Can I put my arm in front of Cal, sensing that he's planning something?
Okay. Yeah, I can't do it. I don't want to get any closer to this movie.
Oh, by the way, I'm like a werewolf, like skin and showing too, right?
Yeah.
What we decided? Yeah.
No, I think it's just a polar bear, like the Golden Compass shit.
Yeah, that's what I was
Right.
thinking.
But since I got a bad roll, do I look any different?
You look like, you know how stretch marks look?
Yep.
It's like that, but they're just open wounds,
Ooh.
and there's this almost this like ethereal light drifting out of them.
White blood.
That's
I
cool.
guess.
Are
Yeah.
are
Do
we
polar bear-
rolling
That'll come.
initiative?
Not yet.
how are
Not
we-
yet. Can I, in the most non-threatening way a polar bear can move,
It's like on its.
can I approach it about 10 feet?
At 10 feet away from it.
No, closer.
10 feet close.
Is that really a smart idea, considering you literally
As
just
non-threatening as I can do it.
Roll charisma, just straight charisma,
You're
I
a
guess.
fucking bear, bro.
Yeah, you're pretty intimidating.
What if I turn back? I'll turn back.
Sure.
I'm now Orion, a 2-foot white thing. As
Not very intimidating.
non-threatening as I can be.
Sure.
Do I still have to roll charisma?
No, you can walk closer to him if you'd like.
Yeah, 10 feet closer. Who are you? Literally.
I'm gonna step up behind him, cause he's, and then correct him and be like, "Who were you?"
It doesn't react to your presence coming closer. Orion, it doesn't put out a hand like it did for Busto. It keeps this sort of gesture, but it levels its gaze with you,
With
both
me?
of you.
Okay.
It's
pretty hard to
So
do.
he's like,
And
4 foot difference.
a voice comes in your mind,
Motherfucker.
and it says, "A lonely soul who saw the truth." And then he throws out his arms, and there's a sound which someone once described as a thunderclap turned inside out.
So it's like really loud.
And there's just a wave of force that hits you, but as it collides, this aegis of white fire just erects around the three of you, and that thunderclap comes to an end, and there's a just and you're all knocked backwards onto the ground.
Prone.
And I need you all to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Are you sure?
17.
fire, or do I have any?
You need to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
17?
Wait, me? Do I need?
No.
I'm not
No,
there.
you're way
I
back.
You do too.
I do?
Even though she's so far back?
Yeah, let's see.
Hey guys, my
17.
Constitution's actually good on my character.
15.
15.
No.
I
We're not
do.
starting this shit.
What'd you get?
17.
Hey, that's what I got.
17.
2 17s and a 15. Those aren't bad.
Those are bad.
Unless you get like
Good.
34 for
Caltate, you take 1 point of necrotic damage.
Necrotic.
Yeah.
You're
Don't
at
look
You
at me.
20.
take 4 points of necrotic damage.
Roll.
And Nick, you take 9 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, thank God I'm not a polar bear, else I'd be vulnerable. Not though. So I'm not.
And as your vision clears, you sort of refocus your eyes after that. Whatever that force is, you look around and you can see there's. He's gone. He's vanished. The spot where he was standing is just this just black smear on the ground. But around you, there's like pieces of dead grass floating, and as you sort of look around, you can see all the grass in the courtyard has died, and you all have all sustained these just like boils across whatever part of your body was facing him. Nick, yours are the worst. You have almost, it's almost a burn just across the front of your body. But as you come to, you see this little white fire in front of you sort of fading away too. But the rest of the people who were in the courtyard were not quite as lucky. Those who didn't flee like Zekra did at the beginning, the people, the prisoners who were in the cafeteria and the guards who were guarding them have almost been made unrecognizable. They look.
Yes, they're all dead.
They look
Good.
They look.
Now they don't know we did that shit.
They look mummified. They have been, wherever they stood, they have been frozen into these visages of terror. And their skin has dried and peeled. It looks like all the moisture has been sucked from their body. And then there's a pop, and Busto reappears in the courtyard.
He's like sitting.
He's
It's
like, hello.
Wait, is
I made
Wolfie
tea.
okay?
Wolfie also seems to have been burned, similar to you, but that white fire was in front of him too.
Am I hurt at all?
You weren't there.
So
Where did I go?
Somewhere in between the astral plane and the material plane.
You were just like,
I think I'm gonna do this, and I think that Cal might follow me. Zekra. What? She
She ran away.
ran away.
Yeah, she ran off
First thing.
somewhere.
Can
That bitch.
I try to tend to some people? See if there's anyone worth
Yeah.
savable? Besides the wizard.
I have an idea. You're not gonna
There's
No.
no one left. Like, anyone who is in sight of this. And similar to the thing, it's the same exact effect as what you saw last time.
Can I go?
Motherfucker.
over to them? Can I go?
Come on.
Yeah.
Can I make an insight check on Busto to see?
Sure.
Bro, it's. What do you want to know?
Did you see? Actually, can I make an insight check on
Buster,
everyone?
did you go meet up with...
Yeah. No, bro, what do you want to know? I'll just tell you, dog.
Insight check on.
Well, I don't know that,
everyone?
so I'm just gonna try to.
On everyone or on just
Well,
Busto?
luckily I have +6, so 15.
If you're doing it, you probably have advantage. That's how we do it.
What are you trying to understand, or at least?
Just see if he looks normal. If anyone here looks like.
Bro,
or-
I'm fucking pissed.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
let
Buster
you know
looks
right the
furious.
fuck now. I am so goddamn pissed.
What's wrong? You look angrier than normal.
This
You
is
look angry.
this is what happened last time.
There was the last time?
Yeah, but what do you mean?
You remember the what I tell you? The forest, what
Yeah.
made me come? This happened. Not that person, but the same happened to trees and to grass.
Do you know what he wants?
No. All I know is they want to destroy and kill. Death is part of nature's cycle, but this is not death. This is destruction.
Well, I'm gonna go find the person that did this.
Wait, I think I might know.
Can I look over to Wolfie?
Mm-hmm.
If you're someone who just wants to kill a bunch of people, where are you gonna go? Place where other people or things feel the same.
What, your swamp?
Honestly, yeah. I'm not kidding
Fucking-
here.
Sorry guys, I'm leaving.
Okay, let him leave. Listen, it's the only place around that has a bunch of ghosts and wraiths and undead that want to kill things. Where would you go if you wanted to kill a bunch of things?
That wasn't what I was talking about.
Who do you think did it?
Hey, Cal, would that have made you angry?
Oh shit.
Thinking about
The swamp.
Zekra makes me angry.
The
Yeah.
swamp.
Would it have made you angry?
That's really what we need.
I think you're in you're in enough emotional distress because of all the people that just fucking died. That you'd be able to
Yeah.
suppress.
Can you roll perception for me?
Everyone or just him?
No, just him.
Got him.
Yeah, it was
22.
so good.
22. You notice something. You're almost in the way. You know the feeling when you forget your phone at home And you don't realize it until you go to take it out of your pocket. You feel something you haven't felt in a very, very long time. You feel angry. You feel hurt. You feel betrayed. But you don't feel the pull from your pendant.
I'm not telling anyone about that.
Okay.
I'm just like, that's on the DL.
Not even Nick.
Not right now.
Can I do two things?
Sure.
I'm gonna get on my hands and knees and try to talk to Wolfie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals. And can I try to roll an animal handling? Or do I really need to?
I think if you're just speaking, you don't need to roll
Okay.
on the unless there's a roll for speak with animals. No, but you can just talk to Wolfie.
Okay.
What do you say?
Wolfie, is this what you mean?
Wolfie looks to you for a second, and the voice that answers is not the normal voice of Wolfie. It's the other voice that comes occasionally. The deeper voice.
The big scary voice.
And it says, "This," and Wolfie kind of looks around. "This is why you're here, Busto. This is why you're all here." And that's where we're gonna pick up next
Oh,
week.
you fuck.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
We can't even do it next week.
Yeah.
We can't.
Can you not go to Canada?
I can't not go to Canada. This is where we'll pick up 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, we
We'll have. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be out of town, but there will be a live stream. It will be
I may
put on
not
by
be
them.
here either. I'm not sure.
Emily might be here. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
We'll do
Yeah,
something
we'll do
special for you.
something
We'll make it
fun.
fun. We might not have a special Halloween episode, so maybe we'll do it then.
Yeah.
We don't know. We'll let you know. But in the meantime,
We'll keep you guys updated on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just like-
Yeah.
thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
We love you.
Thank you for
Good night.
tuning in.
Love you guys. Wait.
And thanks to Light
Yeah.
Sears
Oh, yeah.
and Soul Dagger
Seriously.
for the amazing,
And Matt
amazing
Shelton.
art.
Yeah.
Very
And
good.
Matt, yeah, it makes our days, and we love it so much. Thank
Really
you
appreciate
so
you
much.
guys.
Very good.
It's so beautiful.
As much as I hate Secret, fuck, my voice is so bad. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you're.
I'll put these into words. I'll put these into words for Adrian. As much as he hates Zekra, he really enjoyed the fan art,
God, it was
and
so
he
good.
really
It's the
appreciates it.
prettiest. It's
It's
so
his background on
beautiful.
his desktop.
Oh
Actually.
my god.
Like it genuinely is.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Peace out.
See you guys later. Bye.